were underage on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
It's what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
It's what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
It's what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
It's what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
It's what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
It's what?
I said Malcolm alleged that some of Elijah's women were underage secretaries, and can you expound on that?
Yeah, well, I guess they were, because they were there. I seen them. I seen them myself. It's all true. It's all true.
Good evening, messenger. You convinced us that you were the last messenger. How many other bastard children do you have?
How many? Southside Tone, what it do? Keno! Chicago Daz, we in the building. KB, Adolfo, I totally appreciate y'all coming through, man. Before we pop into the show, man, without further ado, the gentleman, Lincoln Curtis Gerald Hawthorne, ladies and gentlemen, he's back. The gentleman, Lincoln Curtis Gerald Hawthorne. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, man. I totally appreciate you coming through. Have a great night. See you in the morning. Close the door. Hey, I thank y'all for coming through tonight, man. Oh, man, we got a bunch going on tonight, man. We're going to have some fun in here tonight. You know what I mean? And I know y'all could be watching the Yankees. Y'all could be watching the Dolphins, Pittsburgh. Y'all got a lot to go through, man. But did I miss anything? Hashtag fatherhood. If you made it through that video, hashtag fatherhood, man. That's what we need. More fathers in here, man. Did I miss anything in boxing this week? I don't know who fought yesterday. Giants are 6-1. Yeah. Giants are 6-1. Miami Dolphins bet not lose this game. I don't know why they didn't kick that field goal to go up 2 scores against a rookie quarterback. I have no idea. That made no sense. What else? I think that's it, right? I don't know if that's it, but yeah, man. Appreciate you, Mr. Jerry. Obviously, the hottest news of the week is Terrence Crawford said he's going to go fight this guy, David Avanesian, on Black Prime, BLK Prime, right? And regardless of what fighter you're with, whether it's Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, and you know, I'm beginning to think people are Errol Spence fans because it's profitable. I'm beginning to think that shit because we are so illogical. Man, if I say Errol Spence name, I know I'm gonna get 1,000 views, man. I know I'm gonna make $7 off of this video. You know what I mean? Like, we have lost, and vice versa with Terrence Crawford, man. Obviously, there's more Errol Spence fans, it appears, you know, especially in this YouTube vlog sphere. But it's gotten to the point where the accountability of men, grown ass men, Grown ass men afraid to tell the truth. I mean, it is just like asinine. You know what I mean? So instead of saying exactly what happened, they gonna blame Blue Blood. How the fuck? Listen. Let's make this as common sense as possible. How the fuck did Blue Blood mess up the negotiations between Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford when there's only one man negotiating? Al Haymon didn't call Blue Blood and be like, hey, Blue Blood, what are we doing? What are we talking about? You know, everybody mad at Blue Blood. And I'm going to say this. The only thing that I would suggest to Blue Blood is if he's on that side of the business, now he has to balance it. But to throw the man under the bus and like he ain't shit, he a piece of shit, he dogged y'all ass. Oh man, he lied to me. How come y'all don't hold Oscar De La Hoya accountable? He called you a nigga. How come you won't hold Steven Espinoza? He lied to your face. And some of y'all niggas booked flights, booked hotels, booked rental cars, and y'all sitting there like, oh yeah, he said it's a possibility November 19th. Well, let me call the MGM and book my hotel. We are some of the weakest motherfuckers on the history of this earth, man. You know what I mean? This internet has given so many beta males. This internet has given so many beta males a voice. It's just insane, man. Niggas couldn't catch a football in high school. Niggas was airballing layups in high school. And this thing called YouTube just pops up and niggas know everything. They're the most masculine, most successful, most glorious, absolute type of motherfuckers in the history of this earth. Man, that couldn't be so far from the truth. You understand what I'm saying? That couldn't be so far from the truth, man. It's just insane. Niggas are really cowards, man. Niggas are afraid to tell the truth. Niggas on YouTube are afraid to say Al Haymon's name. The men in suits. What the fuck, the men in suits? Fuck you mean? It's only one man in a suit. It's only one man in the suit. And you ain't seen him. You ain't heard him talk. The other motherfucker lied to your ass. Every interview, Steven Espinoza is lying his ass off, and y'all just say, yes, okay. Well, I just got to ask you, man, because it's a... No, nigga, he's going to lie to you. And then two, y'all niggas respect the fact that Steven Espinoza say, oh, no, we can't talk about what's going on behind the scenes. But y'all hold Blue Blood to a different standard. Y'all holding Blue Blood to a different standard. Y'all hold Steven Espinoza to. It's no truth to power anymore. Niggas just want YouTube money, man. Niggas just really want YouTube money. Oh, yeah, man. Man, Earl Spence. Yeah, he's the best, man. So who's the most popular fighter today? Man, let me check these algorithms. I just saw 10 videos on Earl Spence, so I'm going to talk about it. I see why Earl Spence said that shit. Y'all niggas just putting his name in the title so y'all can make some motherfucking money. Ain't got no common sense in this motherfucker. None. I ain't pulling up no receipts because we should already know. If you in here tonight, you should already know. You a real boxing fan. I ain't got time to go through YouTube and pull up these motherfucking receipts. If you in here tonight, you a boxing fan. You know exactly where the fuck I'm going. Tim Doughboy Smith told you January 13th. The nigga told you Terrence Crawford ain't shit. But y'all niggas didn't. You know why y'all didn't budge on that? I watched y'all niggas. You know why none of y'all niggas reported on that shit and held him accountable? Because y'all PBC fanboys. Bob Arum said the same shit 3 months ago. Y'all remember? I'd rather buy a house, build a home in Beverly Hills. Y'all remember that shit, huh? Y'all remember that, huh? Isn't that the same thing as saying, Terrence Crawford ain't shit. He don't sell nothing. He ain't nothing. I know he's a champion. Tim Smith waddling his fat ass up and down the motherfucking aisles, and y'all don't hold him accountable. Y'all kissing ass. And that's what's wrong with this sport. Motherfuckers kissing ass, man. This fight would have been made if y'all would have listened to me. If y'all would have listened to me, renege on your showtime. Don't buy tickets. Don't buy pay-per-views. I guarantee you we would have got that Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford fight. But they know y'all bitches. And they know they motherfucking control. The motherfuckers control. They control y'all motherfucking ass. This ain't media. It's a PR firm in this motherfucker. Yeah. PR firms. PBC on one side, non-PBC on the other side. Yeah, I know it. It's very obvious. It's very fucking obvious. Y'all motherfuckers making more money with the fight not happening and blaming another side than advocating for the fight. And then I want to say something too. Everybody talk, man, I'm the blackest nigga ever. You know what I mean? Fred, you a coon, Dre, Asian, you got mixed kids, you a piece of shit ass nigga. Okay, I accept all that shit. I accept it. I fucking call me whatever you want. But Terrence Crawford signs with a black company. I checked, the co-founder is black. I want to double check before I say black company. The co-founder is black. The co-founder is black. And Blue Blood gets an opportunity, and niggas from the LDBC and new media calling his, and y'all niggas in the chat calling this nigga a sellout. What type of niggas are y'all, man? Y'all want entertainment over one of your brothers getting an opportunity with another black man? Oh, that's where we at. Now, we rather be entertained, huh? We just want to be entertained. We ignorant niggas. You know, we listen to Cardi B. Our daughter's dancing. Daughter dancing to Cardi B. She know every motherfucking word. That's the problem. Niggas ain't got no integrity. Blue Blood gets an opportunity. Blue Blood gets a fucking opportunity. Well, I don't know what his business dealings is, but he got an opportunity. And y'all niggas want to fight. Y'all niggas would rather have a fight than your brother get an opportunity to change his family's life forever. Are y'all fucking kidding me? That's where we at now. I told y'all, and I'm about to go there, KB. I told y'all this pro-black shit is faked in a motherfucker. Faked in a motherfucker. I told you, because if we were so motherfucking pro-black, we would have put Golden Boy out of business. We had all the ammunition we needed. Oh no, Virgil Ortiz, my favorite fighter. I love Ryan Garcia because I get views every time I put Ryan Garcia in his name, man. Ryan Garcia is the most beautiful man I ever seen in my life, man. Oh, he's so beautiful, man. I just want one of his hair follicles. What type of niggas are we, man? I didn't even watch Kid Austin's fight. I have the zone. I have it. Because you can't watch the Canelo fight without getting the zone. I didn't cut the shit. All I got to do is do this. Nigga, I was here with y'all. I didn't do this. All I had to do was go click, 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 and I didn't do it. Y'all niggas holding these imaginary lines up. Oh, yeah, nigga, I'm a boss. You ain't no motherfucking boss. You a PR person. What Tank tweeting about now? Y'all better hurry up and screenshot that shit. I tell you that fucking much. Y'all better screenshot Tank's. What's it called? Devontae. Send it to my. Can one of y'all send it to me? I'm feeling good right now, man. Oh shit, they playing games. Oh shit. I need to take my talents elsewhere. Yeah, they playing games. I'm gonna tell you what I believe was going on with that motherfucker. I told y'all niggas in September, but y'all calling me crazy. Y'all better screenshot that shit real quick. He said he need to take his talents elsewhere. Who the fuck he talking about? Al Haymon, right? Y'all niggas over here faking the funk. Man, this is so motherfucking sad, man. A black man makes attempts to make a dent in boxing. He's doing his best. I don't know the man. If it was a Mexican man, I would feel the same way. I swear to God, hand to God. If he was Asian, you know I would. But the point I'm saying, if it was an Asian man that signed Terrence Crawford for quote unquote $10 million, I would be like, finally, someone go against the grain. All these niggas done been around Oscar De La Hoya, had access to Oscar De La Hoya. Not one person in the history of the sport of boxing has asked this man about the emails but me. I can't believe you two motherfuckers are afraid to say Al Haymon's name. You understand what I'm saying? Sean Porter is a two-time motherfucking champion, and he's afraid to say Al Haymon's name. Is he really free? It's a motherfucking cult over there. It's a cult over there. PBC is a cult. Premier Boxing Cults. That's what it is. And I'm not talking about the Indianapolis cult. It is a fucking cult over there. Niggas can't even say Al Haymon's name. A year retired. He can't even say his name. Are you kidding me? Media members, men in suits. Who are the fucking men in suits? It's only two men in suits that we are talking about. Steven Espinoza and Al Haymon, nigga. Y'all acting like motherfuckers Satan. Like when you was a kid and you was afraid to look in the mirror and say Hail Mary 13 times and shit. You afraid to say Al Haymon 13 times to your iPhone, nigga? You think I'll come through your iPhone and cut off your service? Y'all blame one fucking man. Like Blue Blood got the power to cut the electricity off. This nigga got an opportunity. And y'all niggas been following his videos. Y'all know this shit just came 2 or 3 weeks ago. It's obvious. You can tell by how his voice has changed. His tenor has changed. Y'all can see the shit, but y'all want, but y'all like hating on niggas. Y'all like hating on motherfuckers. Like it is just like, oh my God. I'm gonna tell you one, I'm gonna tell you two things. I'm gonna tell you three things. If that motherfucker would have came to me, and I'm not advocating, y'all know Fred don't want jobs, but I'm gonna tell you two things. If he come to me and want help, I'm not doing it for free because I've been in this game and I have value. But if he wants help to get that shit to the next level, I'm gonna do my part. If he would have came to me, I can't tell y'all niggas. How the fuck, think about this for real, for real. How the fuck can Blue Blood say he's in negotiations? His team, him and his team is in negotiations with Terrence Crawford. How can they say that? How can Blue Blood literally say that? What's up, Knowledge? For real. No, I'm being real. How can he say the shit? And fuck up his negotiations? And let Al Haymon put you know what Al Haymon did to Oscar? If Al Haymon would have known, Al Haymon probably would have put he would have paid the $10,000 or $15,000 to put a hold on the stadium. That's what he did to Oscar. Countless times. Why do you think PBC is fighting that motherfucking StubHub Center and Oscar isn't? Do y'all know why? That's why. This nigga was fighting at he was fighting in the middle of New York. You know what Al Haymon did? He put on a fight at 12 o'clock noon just so Oscar don't have the StubHub Center. I forget the name of that stadium in New York where the horse is at, I think it is. Saratoga, I don't know. And that's when Robert Garcia lost to Aaron Martinez, or got a draw. We sitting here brand new, man. We sitting here brand fucking new, like we don't know what the hell is going on. Al Haymon and Blue Blood are in the club. They get there before 10 because it's free. Al Haymon looks at Blue Blood and said, man, you see that dime over there? Yeah, I see her. You gonna holler at her? Yeah, give me some time, man, after my first drink. Foxwoods. Not Foxwoods. It's actually in New York. I forget the name of it. But 12 o'clock come. He said, nigga, you done drinking? You done had 3 drinks. You gonna holler at her or not? Yeah, I'm gonna get to it, man. Blue Blood goes holler at the girl at 12:30. He gave you 2.5 hours. Now you in the car mad, sticking your motherfucking bottom lip out. Why your bottom lip out, nigga? Man, you got that girl's number and I didn't get it. Nigga, I gave you 2.5 hours. The club was about to close. And that's what happened. We sitting here brand new, man. I don't respect that shit. I don't respect people like side dissing and shit. I don't respect that, man. What the fuck is Black Prime? Like, I don't get it, man. I don't like the side dissing, man. Just come straight forward. You know what I mean? Boxing Ego talking about, oh, that they spelt the name wrong. You selling ESPN apps. Ain't no one complaining. I'm keeping it a buck. He'll never tell the truth on Tank. Leonard Ellaby got him wrapped around his finger. And I'm not mad at it, but I'm just telling the truth. I see it. Everybody sees it. And I said, I went through that shit with Kenny Porter. I stood up to Kenny Porter. I said, you need another fucking trainer. You can't do this shit by yourself. Oh, no, I got it, dog. I got it. Okay. Ain't spoke to him since. And that's the truth. You're selling ESPN Plus subscriptions. Isn't that the same affiliation that disrespected Terrence Crawford? If you want to keep it a buck, let's keep it a buck. I don't like to just be straight up with you. Just be straight up. I don't want to expose. I just want to tell the truth because we got to be men. We got the one thing everybody knows in boxing. I don't give a fuck if you hate me, love me, you think I'm a coon. Fred gonna be, well, I used to be right there. You knew you was gonna see Fred that next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You knew I was gonna be there, and you knew I wasn't gonna run from you. Whether you hated me, how many people I went up to that didn't like me? Abel Sanchez, Andre Ward, the list goes on and on. Sean Porter, Kenny Porter. I didn't run. I did not stop going to fights. Like, I kept on going to fights. Man, I spent my own money. Didn't make it, well, whatever I made on that YouTube video. That shit did 1 million views in 24 hours all across boxing platforms. Black motherfuckers calling me a coon. That's why I would tell Blue Blood if he's listening, nigga, do you, nigga. You got 9 beautiful kids. He tells you he's married with 9 kids every time he comes on. And I would do this for all y'all niggas. All y'all niggas. I would do it for all y'all. And I've stood in the gap on so many times for all y'all niggas. The Yankees up 5-4, yes. Thank you, because now I can go back to watch the game. Bader home run. It was 4-4 right before the show started, and I was like, man, I can't watch it. All right, give me something to do tomorrow night. Come on. And it's still the 6th inning. Let's go back to back. But the point I want to say is, man, we got to be men in this motherfucker, man. You know what I mean? No, I ran from bro. No, Broner asked me, what did I think of the fight? And what did I say? I said it was a draw. I didn't kiss his ass. But Broner will tell you. I said, nigga, I cut that camera off. I said, nigga, you owe me an apology. He walked off to the counter, and I'm 15 feet away from. I said, nigga, you owe me an apology. And he said, my bad, dog. And that was it. But where was I the next week? Interviewing Adrian Broner again, standing right there. We cowards, man. We cowards. You know what I mean? Al Haymon, I'm going to let y'all in a second. Al Haymon wants to sell Errol Spence off to Canelo at 164. It's plain as day. And Money Brown won't hold them accountable. It's Blue Blood's fault. Get the fuck out of here. How is it Blue Blood's fault? And we found out May 3rd. We found out May 3rd, niggas. May 3rd, niggas. Do you hear me? May 3rd, Tom Brown said, we offered Jamal Charlo and Errol Spence at 164 for $55 million. $55 million. And we acting like this shit don't exist. It's Blue Blood's fault. No, nigga. He was negotiating with Canelo and Terrence Crawford at the same time, nigga. Two hands, nigga. For all my illiterate niggas, two hands, nigga. Y'all want that Waka Flocka? Two hands, nigga. Two hands. How about two chains, nigga? You need two blunts, nigga, to understand what the fuck I'm saying? I ain't got no qualms with him. But let's tell the truth, man. How the fuck you gonna blame a man that's in the gap every fucking day, man? I would do it for all y'all niggas. If y'all hung Money Brown out to die, dry, I would do it for him. But what we not gonna do is hang a motherfucker that gives you 3 hours a day of his life with 9 kids and a wife. That's what you're not gonna do. It's wrong. Al Haymon wanted to sell Errol Spence off. You afraid to say, you afraid to say, Errol Spence know what the fuck is going on. He's in negotiations. Maybe he don't want to say nothing. I don't know. I can't speak for the man. I haven't spoken to him in over a year. Y'all heard him. I ain't spoke to him since. But Errol Spence saw that headline, was like, hold up. I just said 2 weeks ago, and the world heard me on April 16th at about 9:30 Pacific Standard Time. Yeah, y'all know who I want. I want that 4th belt. Y'all heard him say it. 2 weeks later, May 3rd, 3 weeks later, May 3rd, Tom Brown, we offered Canelo $55 million. But they was negotiating with Terrence Crawford in January when Jelly Roll, what's that motherfucking name? Motherfucker had liposuction and still fat. What's his name? Nigga had his stomach staple and his stomach got bigger. What's his name, man? Tony Smith. What? Yeah, Tim Smith. Motherfuckers say, oh, Terrence Crawford ain't shit. And me and Terrence don't get along. I ain't advocating for Terrence Crawford. I can't speak for Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford got to do an interview. Errol Spence got to do an interview. And we'll respond as such. Nigga, I could have sold y'all niggas out for $50,000 a long time ago. I won't tell y'all who offered me $50,000. They wanted me to sell Sam Watson out for $50,000. I said, nah, I'm good, man. I can't do that. I've told y'all the story before. Y'all seen Eddie Hearn offer me a job. The list goes on and on and on. Stephen Espinoza ain't never offered me a job. No. I turned down an interview for Fox. I said, nah, I don't want the interview. Nah, I'm good. Turned it down. I ain't got no dirt on Sam. No. And we sit here like this shit never happened. This thing gonna move up 17 pounds, man. Gonna move up 17 pounds. 164 for 55 million to keep him alive, to keep his heart pumping. Everybody, every fighter on PBC hemorrhaging, and we can see the shit with our own eyes. We can see the shit. PBC ain't got no schedule. These fighters ain't fighting. J-Rock says, man, I'm inactive, man. Inactivity is the death. Is the death of a fighter. Come on, man. Come on, man. Look, we got to be honest with this motherfucker. And we can't throw a motherfucker under the bus. I'm going to tell you right now, if Blue Blood to tell you, and I'm going to make this public, when World Combat Sports and them was arguing, going back to back, I called World Combat Sports. I said, don't put that shit on the internet. When Blue Blood was doing that shit, I said, nigga, don't put that shit on the internet. I said that shit. And I'm telling you about my integrity. Because I respect both of them dudes. And I know y'all niggas were going to choose sides and blow that shit up. Just like y'all doing now. Oh, he did this, he did that. No, Blue Blood and... See, the one thing y'all don't know, Blue Blood and World Combat Sports got to cover fights together. And there's going to be one time in 10 years where they going to need each other. But because y'all fueling that shit, they going to have too much pride to ask for help. They gotta be brothers, Blue Blood and Combat. Whenever they decide to patch it up is whenever, but what the point I'm saying is, they gonna need each other at some point. That's why and I say this all the time, every media outlet that ever needed to sneak into a fight, nigga, I put my credential on the line and stuck these niggas in. And now half these niggas talking about me, but I don't say nothing. You see what I'm saying? What did you say, DeAndre? Nah, that's wrong. Me and Bill got the most honest relationship in the history of men in boxing. The most honest. Period, point blank, period. The most honest. So I don't know. We are so honest. All my relationships are honest, man. I should say most of them, you know? And Bill will vouch for that. I can say, fuck you, Bill. Bill can say, fuck you, Fred. And we're going to call each other in 3 days. That's a fact. And that's how our relationship is like this. But we love each other. I'm never going to lie to Devin. But anyways, as I need to open up these phone lines because I know y'all, and if y'all disagree with me, I want y'all to come in. I really want y'all to come in. And 3, I didn't like how Fanon was sneak dissing Blue Blood. I met Fanon once. Good guy. We went out together one night. Have no qualms with him. But you can't sneak diss a motherfucker. See, I did call. I appreciate you, World Combat. Like, these brothers gonna need each other one day. And I know it. Because there's times when I go to New York, Blue Blood picks me up and saves me $20 on an Uber. And vice versa. They gonna need each other one day, dog. And I know it because that's life. But these motherfuckers wanna... Oh, no, you wrong. You wrong. Spoke to Bill yesterday. So you lying. But the point I want to say is this. Fanon was like, I don't know about the Black Prime Network. Wasn't this the same nigga that said he's good with MTK Global and was trying to get fighters and negotiate contracts and shit with Deontay Wilder? Let's keep it a buck. But had no affiliation Fanon don't know. Me and Blue Blood prayed for that man on the phone 6 months ago, a year ago when that video came out. We prayed for that nigga, man. I'm telling y'all the truth. Me and Blue Blood was on the phone for 3 hours. We prayed for that man and his family. You think I'm lying? I ain't gotta lie. When that nigga, what's that nigga name? Oh my God. That nigga was in a coma. I don't even know the name anymore. He hates my fucking guts. What's that nigga name? Damn. Y'all know that nigga on the East Coast. I prayed for that man. That nigga hates my guts. Me and Blue Blood prayed for Fanon that night. He would have never known though. Man, I'm opening up these phone lines, man. I got a lot more to say. I'm gonna open up these. We prayed, me and Blue prayed for that man. Hope he does well. And I'm not saying we sat, oh Father, which art in heaven, but we was literally talking, wishing wellness on that man. Yeah, T Street. I fucking prayed for that man. That nigga hates my guts. Done disrespected my family and everything. But we gonna sit here and pretend. This is some weak ass niggas, man. Y'all putting a motherfucking boxing match before one of your brothers excelling in his career. Are you serious? Come on, dog. Come on, let's keep it a buck here. I ain't never hated on none of you niggas. I just tell the truth. I just tell the truth. I ain't gotta hate. God has blessed me immensely. Everybody will tell you, if you hang out with me, Fred gonna pay for dinner. Fred gonna invite you to his house. Fred gonna ask you if you need a ride. Fred got 4 cars. If you need a car, you can have a car. If you ain't got no place to stay, if I have a vacancy, you can stay in my apartment. This is Fred in real life. We got all this fucking hate in our heart. And a lot of y'all misconstrue hate with truth. I'm telling y'all the truth every night. I don't hate I ain't got no time to hate Al Haymon. But Al Haymon is destroying 100 black fighters' careers. And y'all sitting on the sideline pretending. Faking the funk, man. This is some bullshit. So I say, fuck all that shit. Play poker with your cards up now. And stop lying. I'm happy for the brother, man. I got you in a second, man. I'm really happy for Blue Blood. If it would have been any of y'all niggas, I'm happy. It's like, I'll give you the last example, then I'll bring you guys in. I said about 5 months ago, what the fuck did I say? I said, man, they gonna what's that shit? Not cancel. They gonna pull champ size credentials. Y'all know what the fuck I meant when I said the nigga spilling the truth over there. Niggas spilling the truth over there. You keep on telling the truth, they gonna smile in your face and talk behind your back. Dante will tell you, nigga, hey, if Dante didn't get a credential, I wasn't going to the fight. It was plain and simple. Sometimes I would get my credential and Dante wouldn't get his credential. Nigga, I would call them, be like, hey, Dante needs his credential. Call this number. Dante will tell you right now. Anyways, man, what's up, Modern King? I don't know if you agree or disagree, but go ahead.
Yo, I just want to apologize to you, Fred, from when I got your live took it down, maybe like 3 years ago. I don't know if you remember, but I remember like it was yesterday.
I don't
This
remember.
Ronald Finkley, bro. I used to be a mod on y'all channels and shit back in the day.
Oh, yeah. I remember the name, Ronald Finkley, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I think I've been following you for probably like 7, 8, 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a minute, bro. It's been a minute. But yeah, I just wanted to chime in on this whole you know, what PBC been doing to boxing. You know what I mean? Like, I remember when they was like only having like 32% of their fighters fighting, like, you know, like maybe 2021, and it's just been carrying over. Like, you know, they don't have no women fighting, but the point is like only they main people get to fight. They only get to fight like once a year. So it has been like, you know, it's been like draining the swamp, if you ask me. I don't know what's going on, like with them, with their shareholders, or the point is like they not putting on the best fights, but they want to charge people pay-per-views.
Mm-hmm.
It's backwards. It's real backwards, man. So I'm kind of happy that you know, even though I don't fuck with Blue Blood and them no more, the point is like, why wouldn't you like embrace something like that, like Terrence Crawford doing something else that could possibly set him up later on for a fight with Earl Spence? You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So I get the whole process of what's going on, and you know, and people like sitting there like trying to still cause the division. I don't get that. We should be embracing that whole situation for $40 because you get to see your fighter fight more than once a year. You know what I mean? Like, he's trying to stay busy, and then you get to see him again before like the middle of the quarter of the next year.
Mm-hmm.
As a fan, which that's all I am as a fan, you know, I just want to see a fight, and I want to see them eventually fight. So I appreciate it. I could see the light at the end of the road. Long as he ain't burn no bridges with PBC, if they can find another platform to put on the fight. Whatever's going on with PBC, I don't know what the fuck's going on with them, but it ain't right. Whatever's going on with them.
Right.
I just wanted to come in and chime in and apologize to you for like the last 3 or 4 years. You know what I mean? I changed since then. I'm just a boxing fan, bro.
Well, I appreciate it.
All right, one.
Thank you, dog. Now y'all gonna remix Tank now. Oh, Tank ain't say what he say. Oh, Tank talking about Floyd. Floyd ain't got no power, nigga. I'm telling y'all niggas. I done been around this shit long enough. Leonard Ellaby ain't got no power. Leonard Ellaby is like Floyd Mayweather's stepchild, man. And I'm not saying that disrespectfully, but the nigga's so disrespectful. He's so honorary. He's so honorary and shit. Come on, man. Let's just be straightforward with each other, man. If Tank don't fight, Leonard ain't got no job. Leonard Ellaby is that motherfucker at one of these sports books trying to make bets. That's what he do. That's what he enjoys. Everybody know that, though. Everybody seen Leonard in a sports book. Ain't no secret. But this is just sad, man. This is just sad. Jerry, you want to call in? It don't make no sense. Oh, my God. Are you fucking serious? Oh, my God. The Yankees had a 4-6-3 double play, and the motherfucker to end the inning. Appreciate you, Mario. What's up, Jerry?
What's up, buddy?
How you feel, man?
Feeling pretty good. About to fill up a pipe full of this green right here and talk a little boxing with you. 6 weeks after Crawford's last fight against Porter, I told anyone who would listen, the fight with Spence is not going to happen. It doesn't take 6 months to negotiate a fight. Even the most tedious of negotiations don't take 6 months. Something fundamentally wrong with why the fight's not taking place. Either somebody wants too much money or somebody doesn't want to pay enough money, which is 99% of the time simply why. If a fight don't get made, that's simply why. Boxing fans, we confuse the sport because we want to see competitive fights, and we get caught up in the sport of things without realizing what most boxing fans should already know, and it's cliche to even repeat, but boxing's a business first. It's pure business first. The promoters are not going to make fights that they don't feel like they can make money on. That doesn't mean they make money on every fight, because they don't. They get it wrong sometimes, and it costs them money. And simply put, the Spence Crawford fight, with the fighters' purses satisfied, is at the very least a gamble. It's at the very least a gamble, because what they're going to look at is the pay-per-view numbers. That's exactly what they're going to look at first. They're not going to be concerned if hardcore boxing fans want to see the fight. They're going to look at the numbers, just like any businessman would. And Bud's numbers, I think 120,000 is his best numbers. Contrary to popular belief, Earl's numbers really ain't that much better. He did 300,000+ against a Mexican American guy who was a pound for pound fighter at the time in Dallas when he fought Mikey Garcia. But if you look at the pay-per-views after, they each went down. Culminating with Ugas doing like 140 or 50,000. Now, typically, when you got a pay-per-view star in a reasonable boxing market, their pay-per-view numbers trend up. They don't trend down. But when you look, like I say, at the numbers, and you look at Earl's numbers, that makes that fight a gamble at anything more than a $4 million guarantee for Bud Crawford, with a promise of a piece of the back end if the fight makes money. Now, Bud ain't going to want to hear that. He got good money to fight Sean Porter. He got almost $7 million. So in his mind, the economics of this fight should represent more, and I understand why he would feel that way. But I also understand why the PBC or any promoter would see the risk. And people have to separate themselves, the hardcore boxing fans, like what comes on your show, from their desire to watch it and what that represents in dollar value, and what the bigger number would have to be to get a bigger money. And case in point is this: when Fury and Wilder fought the first time, you had two undefeated heavyweight champions fighting each other, one white, one black, one from England, one from the United States. Fight sold 325,000 pay-per-view. Now, a fight with those things considered, you would think, well, man, it should have probably done a lot better. Now, the second one sold 800,000+ pay-per-view because of what happened in the first fight. Fury almost getting knocked out cold. Fury proving that he could compete with Wilder and go the distance, which I don't think anybody else had went the distance with. Well, one guy. And like 40-some fights, only one guy. So, but also I'll say this about Blue Blood. That app that they're talking about him fighting on, I heard these guys talking about it on another show, and they were researching that app. And no discredit to them, but that app is only, the whole company is only worth like $5 million, according to what they were saying. Their YouTube subscribers is like 100. You got way more. I mean, it's like next to nothing. How are they going to pay Terrence Bud Crawford $10 million, which is more than what he got to fight Porter, his most well-known opponent, on the biggest stage, the ESPN format, which is a far, far bigger format. I mean, it's not even close. I think, I don't know, man. I'm going to tell you like this. I think there's a 20% chance of that fight actually coming off at those numbers, at Bud getting 10 million. And I don't wish him no bad luck, because I'm ready for him to move on. He can't just keep waiting and waiting on PBC. They don't want to show him the books. They want him to accept a net payday. Then by all means, you got to show me what the fuck that net payday is. I'm not just going to take your word for it. So I don't like to blame either one of these fighters, but if that's the deal, what we've heard, you can't blame Bud Crawford for not taking that deal. That's a stupid. I can't even believe the PBC would even offer him a fucking deal. A little kid wouldn't take that deal. You see? But I don't fault Blue Blood for investing in that, but I just wonder if he's going to lose his money. To be honest with you.
Be honest with you. I think that they're I think they know they're gonna lose money on this, quite possibly, or break even if it is for $10 million. Now you also got to keep in mind too that they can say what they want. You know what I mean? They ain't turned the money over to the commission yet. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I get that.
So
I get that, but you know, through public record, it'll be made public what he gets for that fight, and it doesn't matter to me what he gets. I'm glad that he someone's signing him, and his career can move forward. Because if you haven't noticed, none of these other promoters are making an effort to sign Bud Crawford. You're not hearing Oscar is in talks with Bud Crawford, Eddie Hearn. I mean, they're just not. And even with the PBC, even if they couldn't get this fight made, why couldn't they offer Bud a 3-fight deal anyway? Just sign him up for 3 fights and put him in against an opponent like he's fixing to face now, or maybe put him in against Thurman. And if you want to build up fight, but they're not offering them, you know, any type of deal like that I can see. But here's another thing. Last night,
no, wait. Before you go, I would agree with you. A new company, and hopefully his team secured the money. You know what I mean? So I would agree. I would tiptoe, you know what I mean? And they would have to secure the money. Maybe a percentage of it is in escrow and the other half comes from ticket sales and pay-per-views. I don't know. But you're right. I'm not disagreeing with you. But
well, that's the other thing I wanted to say. People don't know. I compare fight negotiations at this level basically with politics. We don't know shit. We only know what little bit they tell us, and maybe a little piece of something get leaked here or there. I was listening almost all day yesterday to different shows, and these brothers, man, they was arguing back and forth like they really knew something about the negotiations. Meanwhile, they're talking about what Bud's nephew said, and this guy said, and he said, and she said. I just can't believe how people keep going at it about who's at fault when they don't know what really the negotiations are. Most of everything we're all going on is hearsay, right? And a lot of it's just not validated. And so therefore it's like, damn, I can't believe how people are going to war, you know, over stuff that they don't really know for sure whether it's true or not. Maybe some of it is true, but nothing's really been validated, and that's why you're getting people like Espinoza and Mayweather and even Crawford's camp have said, you know, don't believe what you hear, because you know it's just people don't really know what's going on behind there. I just know that you can negotiate a fight, even a big tedious fight, in 30 to 60 days or less, anytime. People may point out Mayweather Pacquiao, but that fight they could have made at any point. The reason that fight took 5 years is because both of those guys were so popular, they were able to make hundreds of millions of dollars fighting the rest of the guys. You know what I mean? They knew that fight was going to be there for a big payday. Hell, Pacquiao took a couple losses en route before that Mayweather fight came about, and it still was a huge payday. But Arum is smart. He knew he could match Pacquiao against all them other fighters, Cody, Mosley, and right on down the line and make a ton of money. Floyd was making even more money. And if you notice, when Cotto left Top Rank, his very next fight was against Mayweather. When Mosley left Top Rank, his very next fight was against Mayweather. So they cashed all them checks and waited to cash the check against each other until they made all that money. That was smart to do, even though it was aggravating. You know what I mean? But like I say, you know, fights don't take 6 months to negotiate. I don't blame Bud Crawford. People are saying they're blaming Bud Crawford, saying he ducking the fight. Fuck that, man. What's he supposed to do? Just sit around? Earl Spence has a promoter. He has a network where he can fight on, at least for the time being. He's got some protection. Bud does it, and to get $10 million to fight an opponent like that, shit, man, he'd be a fool not to jump on that.
You're right. Are you staying on or are you leaving?
I'll stay on.
Okay, great. We got a new guy, Mr. Warren. What's up, man?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, I'm chilling, just listening. You know, this has been obviously the topic du jour and whatnot, and you know, it's a lot of different layers to it. You spoke about the blue blood angle, and you know, I paid attention to a lot of the things that are going on in the chat. A little bit too much bashing, because you know, like people play favorites as it pertains to promoters and fighters. in the chat, it's a little bit of playing favorites in regards to content creators too, and I think that's kind of dictating some of the bashing of this content creator and that content creator and whatnot. So I don't know. I just wanted to at least address that. But as far as assigning blame, I mean, to me, it's okay. Bud Crawford had a signed Manny Pacquiao contract and walked away from it. He had a revised Errol Spence either contract or term sheet and walked away from it. So, I mean, once is an aberration, twice is a trend. So, I do agree that it does not take 6 months to negotiate a fight. And that is one aspect where I do lay some of the responsibility at the feet of Errol Spence, because I think he should have took more of a hardline approach. Okay, because with Bud, right now the issue is transparency. Apparently, under the Ali Act, that's pretty much a given. But my whole thing is, it's always something with Bud. Remember, prior to the Porter fight, Kenny and I believe Sean had to go to Top Rank's offices twice and were turned down by Aram. The WBO had to step in and order that fight. I believe, Fred, you probably know this more than me, but I believe Porter leapfrogged somebody in the rankings. Then the WBO mandated a fight between Porter and Bud. Okay, that's what had to happen first in order to facilitate that fight. Okay, so there's always something when it comes to, but if it's not the 60-40 my way, it's 50-50. If it's not 50-50, it's the rematch clause, or it needs to be a bilateral rematch clause when usually only the A side, who would be Spence in this case, would exercise or have the opportunity to exercise. If it's not a rematch clause, well then hell, it's the transparency. If it's not the transparency issue, it's being able to approve PBC's expense. So it's always something as it pertains to Bud. And then personally, I believe the only reason why he was even entertaining Spence in the PBC is because there was nothing else out there. If you listen to Eddie Hearn, I believe that the boxing industry pushed Bud towards PBC. Because Eddie Hearn, great, what did he say about Bud? Great fighter. There's nothing on this side of the street for him. Obviously, he wasn't going to sign with Golden Boy, and then he's suing Bob Arum. You know, so he got pushed towards the PBC. I didn't necessarily like that because you kind of knew what was coming down the pike as far as that's concerned, because there's never been any sort of relationship between Bud, Bomac, and Al in the PBC. But as far as the negotiations are concerned, it was always, okay, Stephen Espinoza acknowledged Errol's portion is done. They had to keep sending either revised contracts, or there was an impasse based on Bud supposedly demanding $20 million, or the infamous 15 million, or don't call us back until you have 15 million. So there was this isn't the first impasse. Long story short, this isn't the first impasse.
No, we got it, and I'm not here disputing. I'm not here for Terrence Crawford. And if you believe that, that's fine. I would agree that
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
No, I'm telling you. And I would agree. The only thing I would dispute what you said is Terrence. I mean, I interviewed Bob Arum, and Bob Arum said he shut down the Manny Pacquiao fight because he was afraid of his health.
No, he shut down the Manny Pacquiao fight going back to 2018. The one that was rumored about in 2021. That's the one I'm referring to. But go ahead.
Okay, 2021. Okay. Well, you could be right. You could be right.
That's the one in Saudi Arabia?
No, it wasn't no money in Saudi Arabia. That was a whole fib. Bob Arum lied on this show.
He said that they were going to put the money up, and then
it was like something like June 6th or something like. He says he's gonna make an announcement or something. But anyway, we got Dog Money coming. Dog Money. Are you staying, Mr. Warren? Or are you leaving?
I'll stay for a little while.
All right, what's up, Dog Money?
Yeah, man. Speaking of Bob Arum said, and I believe he was telling the truth when he said this. He said whenever they do a fight, 40% of the purse, 40% of the fight, whatever the fight makes, goes directly to the television company, to the people that are producing the fight.
Right.
40% of whatever you make. If you do 240,000 pay-per-views, 300,000, 40% of that revenue goes for expenses of the fight off the top. And then the promoters pay the purses for the fighters and divvy up the rest of the money. You know what I mean? And with the PBC model, if you know 40% coming off the top, how much can you pay Bud Crawford? You know what I mean? Earl Spence biggest pay-per-view was about 350,000. His lowest pay-per-view was like 240 with Ugas, a non-English speaking person that really didn't nobody know. Man, every fight. When I a lot of shit. A lot of times Bob Arum talk, you think he'd be lying, but a lot of times he be letting a lot of damn truth out too. You know what I'm saying? When he said he lost some money on every Bud Crawford fight, he ain't lying when you do the numbers and you do the math on it. He lost money on every damn fight. But he had a different type of deal than the PBC. He has a budget with ESPN, you know what I mean? And he pays the fighters like that. Whereas with of course, with the PBC, what you make, you get your own promotional team. So you basically cut out the middleman, and whatever your fight does, that's what your money gonna be. But Bud, he wants that big guaranteed whop. But PBC is not willing to lose money just to make a big fight. And they know everybody wants this fight, but they're not trying to lose money on no damn fight for Bud Crawford. They don't owe Bud Crawford anything. He's not signed to PBC. He's not signed to Showtime. Why would you expect these people to put a show on? They will lose fight. They will be willing to lose money with a fight with Keith Thurman and Earl Spence way before they will with Bud Crawford and Earl Spence, or Bud Crawford and Keith Thurman, because they don't have anything invested. You know what I mean? Bud is not part of their team. He's a freelancer. You know what I mean? And as far as how the fight went with these negotiations, this was one of the dirtiest fucking things I ever seen in boxing. I mean, it was dirty to Spence to take his time up like that when you wasn't gonna take the fight, and and to us fans, it's been hard. It's really, I take this shit personal because I don't know about you, Fred. I don't know about the other guests on here, but I really wanted to see that fight, and for him to make us think that he was gonna do this fight, and then at the last minute, you go pull some guy out the fucking trash heap to fight. Like, dude, I'll never buy another one of Crawford fight. I support Crawford. I'll never buy another one of his fights again, though. Not after this right here. Yeah, I'll buy all the fights,
I'm not here to defend Crawford at all. And but what I will say is one man had the opportunity to make this fight, and he didn't get it done, man. I'm bringing Warren G. Go ahead, Warren.
Thank you very much, and salute to everybody on the panel. I still don't understand why it's hard for people that wanted to see this fight understand that PBC had every opportunity to make this fight happen over a year. You just presented us with factual data to show that they was not trying to make the Terrence Crawford fight, regardless of whether Terrence was asking for too much money or not. They still wasn't trying to make a fight with Crawford. We proved that by what you did. You just said on May the 3rd, Tim Brown was asking to set up a $55 million fight to fight Earl Spence to go up after he fought Sean Porter. I mean, after he fought you guys. I don't get it. Now, the negotiations from there was, first of all, they was not being genuine. They didn't come in good faith to me, to the table. I'm gonna leave that alone for a sec. I want to talk about BLK Prime.
Mhm.
BLK Prime is a network, is a app that they said they've been in business for about 5 years.
Mhm.
They've been dealing with amateur fighting or your residential fighting for some time, and they wanted to get into world championship boxing. And so Terrence Crawford was an ideal candidate for them, and Blue Blood was the mediator between those two. Now he's a partner. He says that he's a partner with them, and I agree with that. But I'm not sure where you get the $5 million. I see that on the website, but that's for the public. I don't think they just have $5 million or that the company is worth $5 million. I think that's a public. That's out there. I'm sorry, that's out there on Google. You can Google that, and you can see that on some type of page. That's a third party page, so anybody could have posted that. And
Yeah.
that's why I wanted to push back on the gentleman who said that BLK Prime doesn't have enough money. They may not have enough money to pay for the fight. Secondly, the fighter that they chose, as Blue Blood explained it, was they went down a list and they had so much time to get a fight together. And based on everything that they looked at, and they did their homework, they looked at trying to get they looked at Keith Thurman, they looked at Bruce Ennis, and they looked at some other one other fighter. But the one that was readily available for him to fight before, because he made it clear that Crawford wanted to fight Earl Spence, and he didn't want anything to hinder that for 2023. So they said, okay. And that's what they came up with. Now, this boxer is in the top 10 at the welterweight division. Now, whether you consider him a bum or not, ain't nobody said anything about when Wilder was fighting his sparring partner, and that came out to be 77,000 pay-per-views. At least that's what's being reported. So I don't see what the problem is with Crawford staying busy. And they did say it's been reported that he's going to be receiving 8 figures.
Mhm.
Now, how true that is, I do not know. My point is that this company has an opportunity. First of all, they don't have to pay any cable network. They don't have to. All the money that come in, they get all of it. They don't have to distribute it to any other cable company and network or production company. I'm pretty sure that they have their own in-house. So I salute the fact that they get an opportunity to throw some of this algorithm, some of these other networks out of whack and get on the playing field. They deserve an opportunity. They taking a risk. And if we're talking about taking risks, It's all a part of gambling. It's the risk anyway. So PBC didn't want to take a risk with Terrence Crawford, so they dropped the ball and somebody picked it up and
ran with it. Okay.
Ran with it.
I'm
Thank
gonna
you.
piggyback off what you said, G. Look.
One second. Well, let me get to the super chat. Smart man on the phone. He was talking about Jerry earlier. Can I let KP respond first? And then you can respond after that, bro. Go ahead, KP.
Yeah, I mean, Fred, you know me for a long time. I've been a Spence fan, diehard for the big headed man.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, they management fumbled the ball. Mm-hmm. You cannot have your fighter fight in April, right? Remember this fight happened in April when he fought Ugas.
Right.
Terrence Crawford has not fought since November of last year. It's almost a year. So December, January, February, March, April. That was 5 months when that time happened. So that he had been off 5 months. So they've gone all this time, quote unquote, negotiating with a guy that they have no managerial rights over. They give him nothing solid, and they expect him to just wait for whenever they get everything together. But then they also tell him this fight is not happening this year, because that's what they told us. Because 2 weeks ago, they just told us November 19th was a fake date, right?
Mm-hmm.
So everybody knows it's not happening in December. Because if it was happening in December, we would have heard something about Tank Davis having a date. Pay attention, you PBC fans. Tank Davis don't got no date. The Charlos don't got no date. Tell me who the hell do got a date.
Yep.
Nobody has a date. Pay attention to the calendar, brother. We about to walk through Christmas and Thanksgiving. Ain't nobody on PBC got dates.
Nah, you're right.
Caleb Plant was on an undercard. That looked like a Don King type card. They have never done that. Okay. They weren't doing that. Caleb Plant was on Wilder's undercard on a comeback fight after he just lost to Canelo Alvarez. So the writing's on the wall. I'm sorry to say this, but at the end of the day, Spence's team or management team fumbled.
Right.
They had one job. And they didn't complete the job.
Right.
And everybody else is still trying to blame Bob Arum, who have nothing to do with this. Are they trying to blame Terrence Crawford, who's only a fighter, right? Everybody says he's a fighter. Everybody say he don't got no business sense, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
I'm just saying what's the facts. All the feelings need to go out the window, because this is what PBC about to do to you. They about to throw Tank Davis in there with some C-Hoblay Spaniel dude that you don't know and ask you for some money in a minute, because they're going to do it again, because they've been doing it to you. But see, this is how you do it, Fred. Flip the table over. Mm-hmm. If Terrence Crawford was making Errol Spence wait while Errol Spence was a free agent, coming to Bob Arum and ESPN asking for some money, all Errol Spence fans would say, he don't need to wait. He need to fight. See, what they doing is basically pitting the black fans against each other and making them kind of devour each other on these social media platforms and not realizing that it's only one fan base for those fighters. We are their fan base. But because they never gave us Wilder versus Joshua. Remember? They never gave us that fight. So now they ain't even gave us this. And guess who was the participant in giving us Wilder versus Joshua? PBC had something to do with that. Whether you agree with it or not, they was part of that equation of us not getting that fight.
Right.
Like, I don't believe in this blind loyalty to a promotional company and none of that, bro. They gonna give us what they want to give us, and I believe in my heart that they've been wanting to give us Spence versus Thurman. That's what they've been wanting to give us.
I bet.
Because they control the rights to both of those fighters.
Facts. And I would say y'all better screenshot my phone because Tank done deleted it already. So screenshot this because I can't refresh the page. And if you guys want to post,
yeah, for sure.
Hey Fred.
Yeah, what's up, Jerry?
Boxing didn't give us Fury versus Joshua either.
Yeah, right.
I don't believe what the caller was just saying, with all due respect, because it's two black fighters. I don't see that as a problem. Now, if you want to tell me maybe one, fights don't always get made. Or if Fury is white, Joshua's black, they're both from England. That seems like a natural. But yet he hasn't fought Joshua, just like Wilder hasn't fought Joshua. There's a lot of stuff in the way between a Wilder Joshua fight. Joshua's handlers know that Wilder's a terrible matchup for him. Terrible, terrible matchup. Wilder would probably knock him out like he did Brazil. AJ's chin ain't there, and he stands up too straight and gets hit by right hands. That's a terrible matchup. That's why that fight. And plus, it's a cross promotion. PBC's not going to give up their top fighter to another promotion, and neither is AJ's people. I mean, this Bud and Spence fight ain't the first fight to not get made. Crawford reminds me a whole lot of Bernard Hopkins. Bernard Hopkins was also a great fighter, but for most of his career, he just wasn't popular. And a lot of those title defenses, he was getting less than $100,000 per fight, and and he used to complain like crazy. I know you remember he would complain after every fight. It wasn't until I guess it was Don King finally got him a marquee matchup against Felix Trinidad, or it was either Oscar or Felix.
That was Trinidad in the tournament, in the middleweight
that
tournament.
was the tournament.
That was Trinidad and that tournament. And then Hopkins finally started taking on some popularity to get some respectable paychecks. And to me, that's simply the case with Bud. Bud's a great fighter, but he's just not that popular. And what can you do? He's not the first guy to be in that position. But now he's at a place where he's accomplished enough in boxing that he's a Hall of Famer, and he's said already several times he doesn't need Earl Spence. He's already a Hall of Famer. Regardless of what some people might think, he made good money fighting with Bob Arum. He fought at Top Rank for 11 years. He signed 3 deals over there with Top Rank. And he was getting paid more than any of the other welterweights. So he's got money. He don't have Mayweather's money, but he's got money. He's got legacy. And now he's at a place in his career where at least I think, where he's not going to take a fight like the Spence fight if he doesn't feel he's getting paid well. The problem is for the people at PBC, they don't see the numbers to suggest we can pay him this and still make money. Because like the other guy said, they're not going to put on a fight if they're not going to make money. They're not just going to do it for the fans. That's dreamscape. They in it to make money in it.
What? And I just want to make a quick comment. What they didn't factor in was some outside entity willing to gamble on Terrence Crawford, and they got caught with their pants down because there is a company, BLK Prime, willing to take that risk and gamble and see where they come out on the other end. And he just got paid, so that makes it even harder for them when it come time to negotiate or sign that contract. Because if indeed that fight does well and the numbers come out and it shows that he done really good and he get paid $10 million. Now what they was trying to offer him up, what they was trying to offer him, that he was supposedly, or he said that he was willing to accept, doesn't come. Now yesterday prices are not today's prices now.
I feel you. That'll give Bud some leverage, and I kind of hope it works out for him like that. But
man, this shit gonna flop. Man, this shit flopping out. Are you serious?
Promoters.
Are you serious?
Oh, let him get off. Let him get off, dog. Yeah.
Try to put on shows before, like I think it was Triller that tried to do the little bit. A lot of times these shows don't come off, and that's the unfortunate truth. They're underfunded.
But
now I don't know that that's going to be the case, because what I said about
let him respond to you, Jerry. You being rhetorical.
Hold on, let me finish.
You saying the same thing?
No. I'm trying to tell you, the app that I was telling you with the $5 million net worth and their little tiny bit of YouTube subscribers, that's not something I researched. That's something I heard on another boxing show, just like this one, where the guy, he researched it. That's what he was saying.
Gotcha.
I don't know that that's true, but I can believe that it's true because I never heard of the app myself. They certainly haven't put on any fights of
Jerry, let him respond to you. Jerry, let him respond. Go ahead, Dog Money. You want to respond?
Look, man. This fight, it's a flop. It was a flop as soon as they announced it. Nobody's gonna watch that shit except maybe the diehard Bud Crawford fans. First off. Second thing is this right here. PBC didn't want the fight anyway. They don't give a shit that Bud Crawford didn't sign this fight. The PBC, Showtime, they don't give a shit. Bud Crawford fucked over Earl Spence. That's who he fucked over. Because Earl could have been fighting somebody else, moving on.
That's not,
He'd have
Wait,
missed the
dog
fucking.
money.
He'd have missed
They
a paycheck waiting on Terrence Crawford.
dog money.
He'd have missed a paycheck. First, we're gonna fight on November 19th. We're gonna fight in September. We got you understand what I'm saying? Fight date to move 3 times. This guy said, they was like, well, I told you I wanted to fight this year. I had to go ahead and sign this week, but we can still fight next year. You're gonna make this guy put this guy on a leash, putting this shit off for 6 months, and then think he gonna come back and negotiate with you again. Go call Andre and see how that shit works.
so,
That's
dog,
basically
let me
what he
ask you this
just did.
question.
Hey, dog. I think you're right about them not coming back to negotiate with him afterwards. I think you're right about that. But I think
No
the
way.
part
We will
I think
never get the Crawford-Spence fight. It will
dog
never
money.
happen.
Let me say this to you.
Hey, let him respond to you, dog man.
I would say this, dog money. This is the problem because it's not Bud Crawford's job to get Spence a fight when we knew that that's the fight we wanted. Because Spence said it when he got out the ring, right?
Oh my God.
It was his management job to make that fight by any means necessary. Well, then they just came out and told us, dog money, 2 weeks ago that this fight wasn't happening this year. That is not the fighter's fault. That's management.
Can I make you do something that you don't want to do?
Yeah, they making Earl Spence hold that
No,
weight
man,
at
I'm asking
147
you, can
longer
I
than he want
make
to.
you do something you don't want to do?
Dog money.
See,
Hear what
I
I
can
just
tell
told you.
you don't.
The
You're constantly
disadvantage
making
is to
excuses for
Earl
this guy.
Spence,
The
dog
guy
money.
No,
didn't
but
want to.
but
The guy didn't
so
want to fight. The guy didn't want the biggest fight of his fucking career. This
see,
fight would, if Bud beat Spence, it would make him a fucking superstar. It would
I
make
don't
him
think
a
it makes him a
goddamn
star. He's about to
superstar.
walk away, dude. He's walking away.
so
It
so
would make him
you're
a
just
superstar.
ignoring.
Dog money. He
You just
doesn't have any other fights after that fight, dog.
Oh, this is last. He got 2 fights. He got 2 fights now. Because this fight, he had to pay this. He pulled a bum out of the fucking garbage
No,
can.
what you were
Paid
saying,
another
dog
guy
money, is
step
he was going to
aside
fight
money.
Earl Spence. So if he fights Earl Spence, right?
He's
That's
not
the
gonna
only
fight
fight at
Earl.
47
Earl
that
is
you're
not
willing to
gonna.
pay for, right?
Earl is not gonna fight him, dog. It's over. It's done.
I understand what you're saying, brother. I understand.
so
This
you're
is
you're
what I'm
you're
saying,
you're
dog
you're
money.
you're
All I'm
basing this
saying, dog
all off
money.
of emotional.
No, I'm
You're being
saying it's
emotional
Hold on, let me
about
done.
get this
that,
out.
brother.
It's done, dude. You done made me miss a paycheck. This dude is not. This dude that lost like $18 million. You think he gonna come back and go through this shit again,
Mr.
trying to
Paycheck,
make a
how?
fight?
Mr. Paycheck, how?
What, dude?
In
You've been
what way did he
negotiating
miss a
since
paycheck?
April. He been negotiating
It
with
don't
this
take
guy
that long, dog.
since
No, he
That's
didn't. He
April.
management,
wasn't.
bro.
There
Since
wasn't no
April.
negotiation until June. What is you talking
Since
about?
April. Well, since
No, sir.
June.
No, sir. Did you look at the article
Okay. Well,
Did
okay.
you
What?
look at the
I tell
article
you
that he
what.
pulled
I
up
tell
that
you
they was
what.
trying to
Hey,
negotiate
Look here.
with
I bet
hey,
you
one person about that.
$1,000. I bet
Hey,
you
one, dog,
$1,000
dog,
Spence will
dog,
never
dog. Let him
fight this
respond.
guy.
Dog, let
Go
him
ahead.
respond. Dog, let him respond to you, man.
Go ahead.
Did you look at the article that was pulled up on this show about May and May around May the 3rd that Tim Brown was negotiating with Canelo Alvarez to have Spence fight Canelo Alvarez in May, as well as he was trying to deal with Terrence Crawford. So they really wanted Canelo Alvarez and Spence to fight. They didn't really want Terrence Crawford fight. So it
Who
didn't
is
really
they?
start off. It didn't
Spence
really
wanted
go.
to.
Okay, I
Listen
know
at
what
me.
Spence said.
Listen
I
at
know
me.
what
Listen
Spence
at me.
said.
Listen at me. Listen at me.
Okay,
They did not want the fight. Period.
How you
Spence
know that?
went for Crawford. Spence went after Crawford.
And what did
Spence
his
said,
management do? And
"No,
what did his
I don't
management
want
do, dog?
nobody but Crawford."
What did his
Spence,
management do, dog?
they tried to get Crawford.
How the fuck do you
And
try for 10 months to make a fight?
you could with a motherfucker that keeps sending the contract back. Change this. Change that. Change this.
Don't
Oh, I
make
Okay.
want to
sense to
see
me, bro.
this. I want
Felt.
this. Dude, y'all can twist it how you want to
Why
twist
was there an impasse months ago? Why was there an impasse specifically between Showtime and Team Crawford? Because apparently Crawford had asked, and this is no less than 4 people that claim to have had sources, Crawford was initially asking for what? 20 million and at least 50-50 of the pay-per-view revenue. Okay, obviously, you're going to balk at that if you're Showtime and Team Spence. They eventually they eventually came down to 15 million. Apparently, Bomac communicated to Showtime, do not call me until you have 15 million. There was an impasse because Showtime had topped out at 8.5. So that was the reason there was an impasse months ago of at least 2 weeks in a breakdown of communication between Team Crawford and Steven Espinoza. Sidebar, Steven Espinoza, the night of Spence Ugas, he was asked and he acknowledged that he had already been in contact with Team Crawford. I will obviously concede that talks did not heat up until Canelo went elsewhere, but there were numbers discussed, and that's what facilitated the impasse. They had come down to 15 million. Showtime had topped out and was not budging from 8.5. So at least we have some sort of dollar figures to work from. Now, Steven Espinoza, I believe, acknowledged this. What he said, someone else pointed out that Bob Arum said that 40% of the pay-per-view revenue would go to production cost, right?
Exactly.
Someone else cited that earlier.
Exactly.
Now, Steven Espinoza said this, or Showtime, they were going to take 10%. But instead of waiting for the pay-per-view on Spence Crawford to meet certain thresholds, then they take their profit. They were going to, based on a guesstimation, take their 10% profit off the top, and then the fighters can get the remaining 90%. Now, as far as, and this is why the fight was always going to be in Vegas, and why there are 3 Vegas dates reserved by TGB Promotions. Apparently, the gate that was generated, the fighters were going to get the entire thing. It was going to be split between Spence and Crawford exclusively. So basically, in a nutshell, Showtime, because there's always been a question about how profitable this fight could be. That's why Showtime apparently proposed to take their 10% profit right off the top and then leave the remainder to the fighters. And as far as the gate is concerned, leave that to the fighters in its entirety. That's why the whole slave deal narrative that was put out there by Team Crawford and whoever else, that was always bullshit, because that gate would have generated what? Conservative estimate, what, 10 to 12 million? And the pay-per-view, we can debate as far as how big the pay-per-view would have went, but if you crunch numbers at a $75 price point at 300,000 buys, and then when you combine that with the gate, please, 35% is far from a damn slave deal. But my point is, you had an impasse with the contract revisions. That's what came out publicly. But you also had an initial impasse because Bud was stuck on that $20 million figure. And like even BFTV said, he had to get talked off the ledge, and he eventually came down to 15, but Showtime wasn't budging from the 8.5. That's where the whole no guarantee thing came from. And apparently, I'm not sure, I'm not certain, but it was whispered that neither fighter was going to get a guarantee. So in actuality, where there was some risk on the front end, both fighters, including Bud Crawford, even at 35%, stood to make a lot of money if the fight hit certain threshold. If they generated a certain amount of receipts, they were going to make a lot of money.
Right. Let me get the super chat. Oh yeah, and I am going to support the Terrence Crawford fight. KJ, everybody talking about it's going to flop. What about supporting it? Simply support Bud, Blue Blood, and Black-owned business. Don't worry.
Man.
Don't worry about what someone else is going to do. Do your part. Do your part.
Right.
Do your part. Do your part.
Yeah, that
Man,
emoji is crabs in
I
the
can.
barrel.
I need to respond to that right there, man.
No.
I don't know how y'all. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their own opinion, and everybody falls on different sides of the fence when
Who
it
is that?
comes
That's you.
to this issue. It's very
Yeah, that's you.
divisive. It's a very divisive issue. But I'll say this right here. If
No,
y'all think
it's divisive. I'm gonna let you talk. It's divisive because we're not pointing a finger at what's really holding this fight up. And the real reason why this fight is being held up is not the fighters themselves. Because I can guarantee you, I believe they want to fight. It is PBC and whoever's in charge of PBC, which is Al Haymon. Period.
okay, look here.
And we
I'm gonna
just
go.
don't want it. We don't want to hold his feet to the fire. We want to let him just slide on through as though he doesn't have a responsibility. Even though one thing I can say about Don King, we already know he was a crook. But you always got them the good fights. He made sure you got some good fights. Now he might have did his boxers dirty, but
Al Haymon just gave
Okay,
them Wilder versus
hey,
Helenius on pay-per-view, bro. Wilder versus Helenius on pay-per-view. That's all I need to say. I don't got time for all that goofy shit you talking about, dog.
What are you talking about? Why is you wait a minute? It ain't. I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
No, I'm
Listen,
not. No, I'm not being
if you don't want to hold him accountable, that's fine. And as a matter of fact, Wilder in that fight was for $80. For $80, you just you just saw his sparring partner run into a punch with his hands wide open. It was not a good fight. We already predicted that this was just a comeback fight. This was a fight for him to. This was a morale fight for Wilder. I agree to that. It didn't stop me from paying for it.
Hey, look here. My grandmother used to. My grandmother, bless her soul, used to have a saying. She used to say, "Everybody ain't lying on you." You know what I mean? You ever heard somebody say that before? Everybody ain't lying on you.
Okay. Or as Johnny Cochran would say, a preponderance of evidence. But go ahead.
Look at Bob Arum during the fight when Crawford was getting ready to fight Kell Brook, he wouldn't sign the fucking contract. I don't think he signed the contract. He would not sign the contract for the Kell Brook fight. It was a bunch. Bob Arum said himself, this guy.
Why are we going back to that? We're talking about right now.
I'm pointing to the fact that it's a history of this guy.
Pattern of behavior.
A pattern of behavior. You understand what I'm saying? Even his fucking promoter says this guy is difficult to deal with.
Yeah.
He got a fight. He putting money into this fight. He already set promotion up, and this guy won't sign the fucking contract. That was for the Kell Brook fight. Go back. Bob Arum will tell you that.
Okay, again. So we talked. You just mentioned pattern of behavior. So you're explaining to me that PBC is not expressing a pattern of behavior that suggested that they're not on top of their game or they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. You're trying to tell me that they did everything they're supposed to do, that they do right by their boxers.
I'm gonna respond to this.
That's super vague.
And not everybody's lying on them. So you have Adrian Bruner coming out. You have Adrian Bruner coming out, and look at what David just said. Look at your screen. Look at your screen. They playing games.
Warren, let him respond.
Let me respond and say one thing. Let me say one thing right here about PBC. When it comes down to boxing, the premier fighters basically get what they want. When you talking about a Deontay Wilder, when you talking about an Earl Spence, those like fighters like that are on that level, you can't put them in the same category that you're gonna put those other guys in that are not at the top of the hill.
So
you understand what I'm saying?
So Tank Davis is not a premier fighter.
Tank Davis is a Floyd Mayweather fighter.
No, Al Haymon, technically speaking,
with all that goofy shit, bro.
Al Haymon takes manager. So how is he's not a strictly a Mayweather fighter?
Oh, let him respond to you, Dog Money. Go ahead. Anybody want to respond to him?
Yeah.
I do.
Right, go ahead, KP.
Because he's trying to make a distinction without a difference. They fighting on PBC's markets. Whatever they got Showtime, they got Fox. That's all PBC got. So you can't move Tank Davis away from being with PBC, so to speak, because he wouldn't be on those networks if he wasn't. So at the end of the day, you about to watch, like I just said earlier when I first got on, Tank Davis versus C. Hable Spaniel in a minute, just like they've been putting him in there with, and charge you another $75 while you still telling me that they was going to make an Earl Spence Bud Crawford fight that they told you they wasn't going to make at the end of this year. Because they just told us they wasn't making that fight.
Oh, man.
So that's the end of it. Ain't no point in me arguing about who Terrence Crawford fighting because he fighting somebody at the end of the year. They told me that they wasn't making the fight. It's simple, very simple. I don't got to be crying about why they didn't get Spence a fight. That's the management of Spence's problem. I'm a Spence fan. I've been to his fights. That's his management's problem. They should have had him a fight already because he's a 147-pounder who can barely still make the weight. They know that.
They got him a fight.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so then what we talking about then? You saying that you made that Crawford made him wait and lost money. I don't get it. When Crawford had waited a year.
Man, look, you know the dude negotiated in bad faith. I don't know why you won't just admit it. He negotiated in bad faith. He negotiated in bad faith.
I mean, it looks like the PBC came in bad faith, if you ask me.
Fred, can you explain what negotiating in bad faith means?
No, everybody know, but if you look at the genesis, I mean, if you look at everything playing up, they started negotiations November 22nd, the day after the fight. That's when negotiations begins, right? And Tim Smith came out and said Terrence Crawford ain't worth it. And at that time, they were negotiating against Terrence Crawford. And two, they were negotiating against Eddie Hearn for Canelo's next fight. And they went all in on Canelo.
Canelo is a proven commodity.
No, but what I'm
Are you trying to compare Crawford to Canelo?
No, we're talking about
Canelo negotiations is going to take priority. Sorry.
Yeah. We're not talking about Canelo's star power. We're talking about negotiating in good faith versus bad faith, having a plan A and a plan B. The realities is, the truth is, we're dealing with non-negotiables, all truths. PBC was in negotiation with both Terrence Crawford and Canelo. They chose to go all in on Canelo.
That's true.
It's a fact. And now we're moving forward because we're months past that. And now Crawford is negotiating with two plans.
But I'm saying, what does Canelo have to do with Earl Spence and Crawford?
You're missing the goddamn point. The point is, you said Crawford negotiated in bad faith.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, well, you can say the same thing about PBC against Terrence Crawford.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think they negotiated with Crawford in earnest until Canelo walked.
Yeah, and that's a fact because they went all in.
How long ago was it they were talking about a Spence? They didn't even negotiate a fight with Canelo.
Oh my
God.
They
were talking they offered Canelo
fight
deal with
PBC was willing to use Errol Spence as a sacrificial lamb to get into the Canelo business. It's documented. I disagree with Fred on some points, but he posted it. It's irrefutable.
Fighters, didn't they?
PBC was going to sell Errol's chin to get into the Canelo business. Period.
Didn't they offer him Benavidez and
Charlo and Errol
at Benavidez?
Canelo probably would have balked at Benavidez because he's never wanted to fight Benavidez.
They told him you could take your choice of the three. Two of the three.
Charlo and Errol.
That's not the same thing as a fight.
Benavidez was a Mexican.
They did not send Canelo a contract for a fight with Earl Spence.
A proposal.
Oh
dude.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying.
Okay. I've said what I needed to say. Go ahead, fellas. I'm sorry.
The promoter said it. The promoter said it. It's as plain as day.
But Fred
reposted it today.
Benavidez' name was in there also. I remember reading that too when it came out. They said it would either be Spencer or Charlo or Benavidez.
Yes, and but let's just stop. Jerry. What we're not gonna do is curve the argument to prove a point to go against the grain or to prove each other's right. Canelo's not fighting Benavidez. He don't fight Mexican. So let's just stop the BS. All right.
He's not Mexican.
He's half Mexican. Stop.
He's not fighting Benavidez.
Jerry, we're not even dealing with that, Jerry. No, it's talking good faith, man. And the realities is it was Charlo, Earl, and he's not fighting David Benavidez.
All right, let's do this. Let's do this, Fred. Now, hold on, Jerry.
Stop. No, we're not. No. Sorry, Jerry.
No, I mean, listen.
No, Jerry.
No, Jerry. We're not doing that, Jerry. We're not doing that, Jerry. No, Jerry. We're not doing that. We're not doing.
I'm putting you on hold, Jerry.
So y'all gonna take Benavidez' name out the contract?
Yeah.
You gonna put Earl Spence name in it, but you gonna take Benavidez'
Canelo
name
is.
Canelo wouldn't fight.
Canelo took it out.
He took all three of them out, right?
Let me ask you this, Dog Money. Dog Money, you in Texas? You're in Texas.
Damn right, I'm in Texas.
Now listen to me. Listen to me. When is the next fight for any of your Texas fighters, sir?
I think Spence got one coming up in December.
No. He ain't got nothing on no motherfucking schedule. I see Christmas on my schedule. I don't see no Spence fight.
I mean, I think he got one scheduled. I think they gonna do that fight with the guy he paid.
Dog, January 28th, Charlo against Zoo. That's it.
You see that? That's in January, right? So that's
Jamel Charlo, yes.
That's telling you
that's it.
They have no schedule for their best fighters that they have at 47, 54, and 60, right? Let's just go by the facts. I don't deal with the emotions and opinions. The emotions don't get you nowhere, brother.
Hey, look here.
KP.
Go ahead.
Look here. The facts is the promotional company. They like to do fights during the big fights during the first quarter and the fourth quarter. They always like to have big fights in those 2 quarters.
Okay, somebody was talking to me. He was about to say something.
So I don't know, y'all.
Hey, Darrell, can you close that other window because it's
it's in the background.
Yeah,
but listen, man, this is what we saying. Dog Money, you got blinders on, bro, for them. At the end of the day, bro.
Blinders for who?
But just listen to me. Just listen to me carefully. Listen very carefully, bro.
I'm not defending PBC. What are you talking about?
Just listen. Just listen. You're not even hearing yourself. Just listen. This is what I'm saying.
This motherfucker told me I ain't hearing myself. Okay, what is you talking about,
brother?
Let him get off.
I wish I could finish. This is what I'm saying, brother. Just based on what they've shown us, they don't have nobody in the way. They say once this dude get out of the Bob Arum contract, we can negotiate. They did a negotiation, quote unquote. We didn't have no problems with nothing. I never seen nothing like this where it take 10 months to make a fight with one guy. So let's just say if it's the one guy's fault. Okay, if that's the case, right? But then they did tell us 2 weeks ago that we wasn't getting this fight. They said he's not fighting. Well, the main guy at 47 is the guy with 3 belts down in Texas. I've been down to the Texas Stadium, watched the man fight. He sell it out. 50,000, 60,000. He's selling. If I was a businessman, I want to make sure he gets a fight no matter what. They made sure Floyd got 2 dates. If Earl Spence is only getting 1 date, something's wrong with the business people that he is dealing with. It's nothing to do with the other guy because the other guy ain't got no backers no more. He don't got shit. He just walking off the street. At the end of the day, PBC had free lands to negotiate and make this fight for a lot of months. They didn't make it. Tim Smith, goofy ass, came out and told us a long time ago they didn't want to make this fight by the money. They came out and said they was going to pay Canelo all this money to fight Caleb Plant on a fight that we know ain't as big as the Spence Crawford fight.
I'm so tired of y'all blood apologizers.
I'm not apologizing, bro. Are you listening with your ears or are you listening to
y'all twist shit up? So everything PBC ain't got a goddamn thing to do with Crawford.
Has PBC
refusing to take this goddamn fight
yet? Have PBC?
He didn't take the damn fight.
Have we got Plant
didn't
versus
take
Benavidez?
who?
Did we get Charlo versus Plant or Charlo versus Benavidez? Did we get that yet? Them motherfuckers been over there for years.
Man, they tried to make Charlo
They
Benavidez.
tried. How
Charlo
the
turned
fuck they
down the
tried?
goddamn fight.
They
Charlo
ain't
turned
made
it
none of them
down.
fights. They ain't
Charlo
made none
turned
of
it
them
down.
fights. They haven't made none of them fights. And your
Charlo
boys,
turned the fight down. You can't make nobody fight that don't want to fight. As you can see, we couldn't make Bud fucking fight.
could have made Benavidez versus Plant? Because they about to put Benavidez in with the motherfucking Atlanta BB.
I ain't never heard Plant said he wanted to fight Benavidez.
He been said that a long time ago, bro.
Man, I don't even keep up with fucking Ben. You asking me about fight? I don't keep up with Caleb Plant.
I'm just
or
asking
fucking
you. I'm just
Benavidez.
asking you about your.
You
favorite
asking me
manager's
about
clients,
people
bro.
I don't know anything about.
I'm just asking you about your favorite manager's clients. That's all I'm asking.
I don't, man. He got fucking what about 100, 200 goddamn. I don't know all them goddamn dudes.
And when the last time you seen any of them fight?
I don't know. I
Them
don't watch
motherfuckers
all
are
the
starving,
damn
bro.
fights.
They probably
I
at
don't
an
watch
Aldi's
all
right
the
now bagging
fights.
groceries, bro. They probably at Aldi's playing security guard.
Maybe so. I don't give a fuck. I don't watch all the fights. Only fights I care about is basically the premier boxers. If it ain't done Deontay Wilder or fucking Anthony Joshua or the big fighters, I don't too much pay attention. You know me, of course, I love Tank Davis. I watch all his fights, Devin Haney. But man, the majority of them motherfuckers, I don't even watch that shit. I don't even be interested in nothing going on with them.
All right, well,
You know, and really,
what we telling you is they ain't making the fights, bro. Over there, they over there, they ain't making no fights, and then they
they
charge
just had a good
$75.
ass card about 2 weeks ago.
Huh?
They just had a good card. What about 2 weeks ago? Caleb Plant just knocked the motherfucker out. What was that, last week?
And you said they got 200 fighters, and they showed us 4 of them.
What was that, Deontay Wilder? Before that, they had the Fundura card.
Man, Fundura fight every week, bro. They pay him $5,000 to fight.
A couple of weeks before that, they had that Fundura card. That was a good ass card too.
That was a trash card. Fundura fight every week.
That card was pretty damn
And
good.
we're talking about your elite fighters, like we're talking about your $1 million fighters. So your $1 million fighters only fight once a year.
Alfred, you got somebody in the back trying to get up. I'm about to drop.
I mean, look, man, how many times everybody fighting, you know, all this PBC broke, Showtime broke, or this, man, I don't get into all that shit, man. Because that shit is nonsense. I don't fucking, you know, what does that have to do with anything?
It has everything to do with it. If you're a promoter,
ask me this question right here. Have you ever heard of a PBC fighter having a fight and not getting paid? Or getting cheated out of some money?
Yeah, Logan Paul.
Man, he did not fight on PBC. That was him and Floyd Mayweather, and they fought on Triller or some bullshit. That didn't have anything to do with PBC.
They fought on Showtime. All right. Well, I mean, we're just getting into semantics. Anyways, let me bring in Rashid Hill. What's up, man?
How you doing, Fred?
Hey, appreciate you, brother. What's up?
I feel that this is a bigger issue where these promoters are colluding against fighters, because why wouldn't you make a fight for the undisputed welterweight champion? This should be a no-brainer. I feel that Al Haymon, he's circling his wagons because if Spence lose, my money man is gone. Like you said, he tried to sell him to Canelo at a catch weight. It's just, and the Crawford hate is crazy. I mean, to be honest, Crawford is a more established fighter than Spence, but you know, we got our Spence fanboys. But it just seems like everybody's scared of Bob Arum because nobody want to touch Crawford.
Right. Let me bring in Anthony. What's up, Anthony?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up?
I don't know what all the fuss about, really. I mean, can I speak or you got somebody?
Go ahead. Yeah, you up, dog.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, all this blaming promoters and all that stuff. At the end of the day, Crawford took another fight, regardless of
I
whatever
can't hear
happened.
you.
Because we could speculate about what happened in the negotiation, and we can believe what the parts that we heard. As far as trying to put in promoter talk to make that be the reason why it's one side's fault. Al Haymon is who you like to say. At the end of the day, only one person decided not to wait and to go ahead and take another fight. So it was Crawford's prerogative. If he can go and get $10 million, hey, I mean, I say more power to him, But if you're going to blame anybody, at the end of the day, you got to blame the person who lit the match and set the fire. You understand what I'm saying? And the only person who did that, the only person who lit the match,
Okay.
the only person
Go
who
ahead.
lit the match and set the fire in this predicament is Terrence Crawford, because he decided to leave the table. And that's his prerogative. Somebody offered him money. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's a professional boxer, a prize fighter. What you expect him to do? I mean, we can all feel one way or another about how he did it. But at the end of the day, he said, I'm a prize fighter. I ain't waiting. I'm about to go get this bag. And that's what he did. So if you want to blame somebody, blame the person who left.
All right, got it. All right, let me bring in H Money. H Money want to respond. Go ahead, H.
Yo, what up with it? Fred, what's good? What up, Warren? What's up with you, Warren?
What's good?
I had to come in with the smoke, man. I hear y'all cooking, man. Hey, Fred, man, Terrence Crawford, I felt like he had an opportunity to make boxing great again by fighting on the biggest platform. And we all know that Showtime pay-per-view. That's where Floyd Mayweather fought on. Deontay Wilder and Tank Davis. The biggest stars in boxing, even great fighters like Mike Tyson. He fought Evander Holyfield on Showtime pay-per-view. And I wanted to see that for Terrence Crawford because I'm a Terrence Crawford fan. But at the same time, I'm happy for Blue Blood. I'm happy that Blue Blood, he signed Terrence Crawford. And Blue Blood put the fight together with David Avanesian and Black Prime. So, man, I think Fred, it's a lot of ways to look at this. A lot of people look at Earl Spence that he was ready to fight. He was ready to fight. He was ready to go. And Terrence Crawford, he made another move. And he had an opportunity to make boxing great again. And he didn't do it. So Fred, check this out, man. I think Terrence Crawford with Blue Blood, that's a great move. By Terrence Crawford teaming up with Blue Blood, now Terrence Crawford, he got possibly the best promoter in the game. Blue Blood is the most powerful man in boxing on YouTube when it comes to this internet. Fred, exactly? Can't nobody do what Blue Blood does. He's the best at what he do. And now he got Terrence Crawford, who's considered to be number one pound for pound, the best fighter in the world, the face of boxing. What you think about that, Fred? Terrence Crawford teaming up with Blue Bloods.
He needs a softer image in the public eye anyway. I'm just happy for Blue Blood. I genuinely believe that when you mentioned Showtime being one of the biggest platforms, it may be. I'm not disputing that point. Warren, you got to mute yourself. Is that? Yeah, that's
Daryl. That's Daryl.
Yeah, Daryl. I think that when you got 6 months to make a deal, and you're doing Floyd Mayweather fights in 3 months, it's no reason why Terrence Crawford, because the biggest dilemma was he's on the other side of the street, and then when he gets off the other side of the street, there's another angle, then there's another angle. So I personally don't care about the fighters. I don't doubt Earl Spence is afraid of Terrence Crawford. I 100% believe he wanted to fight. I believe Terrence Crawford wanted to fight. And when you give a man when you give a man 2 chickens and he got 1 chicken over here, you're gonna go with the 2 chickens, you know, and bird in the hand beats 2 in the bush. So if that money's legit and they putting a fight on, you know, I think it's a good move by him, you know. From a fan's perspective, I want the fight, you know, but I would rather, I ain't gonna lie, I would rather Blue Blood get an opportunity than me watch Spence Crawford. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'll keep it a buck. So that's where I'm at with it. And the fight is still in play. Earl Spence has only fought once this year. Tank Davis once, Wilder once, Jamel once. Who's the next biggest?
Well, I got a fighter, David Morrell Jr. He's with Al Haymon and PBC.
Yeah, but he's not getting paid much. He's not getting
okay,
paid.
but yeah, he's staying active though.
Yeah, but
okay.
I mean, Andy Ruiz one time. Who else is $1 million fight over there? One time. Now, if you've made $1 million on PBC, you've only fought once. Gary Russell one time.
What does that have to do with this fight?
The point I'm alluding to.
It sounds like the point.
You asked the question. Now let me answer.
Okay. All right.
What I'm saying is, PBC is only allowing their A-level $1 million fighters to fight once a year. They're not double backing. They're not. And Jamel Charlo fought in May. He should have fought in December. No, he's not.
Oh, is that PBC or is that Showtime? PBC don't buy the fights. They don't pay the fighters. It's Showtime.
Okay.
No, that's too simple anyway. That's too simple of an analysis to try to make that to be, you know, make that like that proves your.
Well, look at the year before then. Well, look at the year before. There's a lot of Keith Thurman only fought one time. It's a lot of consistencies there.
Let me ask you a question. If you could buy another apartment building like you have that's producing as much income as it's producing, would you buy it?
Sure.
Okay. So at the end of the day, if the product that you're trying to pay for a certain amount of money, and they want more, and it's not going to produce what you think it's supposed to produce, then you stay away from that. You wait for it to either come down or for the product to rise up to that level. So, I mean, you're not making any points. I mean, at the end, if we're talking about Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence, I'm sure that if it could have been made with them getting $1 million or 1.5 a piece guaranteed, and then they were about the back end, that deal probably would have been made.
And with your point being made, right? With your point being made, you say the hold up. One of the arguments is Earl Spence could have fought this year. If that's the case, and you knew that Terrence Crawford wasn't coming down, then why not just make another fight for Earl with something else then? Why not just set up a fight?
Hold
on, let me finish. If you feel as the management team that the negotiation is getting too far out of reach, you have 6 months. So you figure about a third month, shit is still going sideways. Then why not just schedule, at least have something in your pocket? Say, okay, if this don't fall through, I got this on the side. Let me go over here and negotiate, because they did it in May with Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford on the table. So they was trying to make a deal with Canelo Alvarez at the same time talking to Terrence Crawford. So if that's the case, why not do it again on the back end when the Canelo Alvarez deal didn't come through?
Well, that's where Errol was at fault, because he communicated to Steven Espinoza that he only wanted the Terrence Crawford fight.
Exactly.
And he also batted away PBC's attempts on multiple occasions to have him fight Keith Thurman. My personal belief
what that got to do with the Crawford fight, though, man?
It doesn't. They don't have nothing to do with it. It's the point that Fred was trying to make.
I was just trying to
the point
go
about
by with his
contingencies. This is why there were no contingency plans, because Errol was singularly focused on the Crawford fight. That's why there were
I
no
mean, that's the
other
fight that
options
we
or
want to see, though. That's the
contingencies.
fight that everybody wants.
I'm not being critical. I'm just saying that's what transpired. The gentleman asked,
Where
well,
you
then
at,
why didn't he
EJ?
have any
Where
other
you at,
options? Why didn't he
EJ?
Oh,
have
let
any
him
other
talk. Let
fights?
him
Like
talk, dog.
he said, why didn't Spence have any other fights lined up? That's why, because he communicated to the people in charge.
Yeah.
He wanted Terrence Crawford. Personally,
Exactly.
I believe the only reason why Showtime and PBC hung in this long was Errol Spence's insistence on delivering him Terrence Crawford. But Errol did not have any contingents. That's why there were no contingencies in place, because Errol was focused on Crawford only. Go ahead.
And quite frankly, Terrence Crawford didn't have any contingency plans until maybe this early this month. It didn't fall through to his left, just like Blue Blood said. Terrence Crawford made it clear to him that he wants Errol Spence, and he's going to stick with that. And when it started to unravel closer, he said, "Can you do something? All right, I will entertain this, but you got to. It has to be this way, done this way." And it fell through. I mean, it came through. Blue Blood picked up the ball and he ran with it and got the man a deal within a few weeks. I mean, it is what it is.
I think the ball got rolling on that prior to their quote unquote chance meeting in New Jersey at the Shakur fight. I think this has been materializing over the course of a few months. Now, they're not going to come out and
Not
say
according
that.
to what Blue Blood said. Now, Blue Blood just came out and said that this happened within a few weeks.
Facts.
And
But Warren is right. And Blue Blood is a man of his word. I believe Blue Blood. You feel me, Fred? Because Blue Blood ain't got nothing to lie about. Blue Blood is a stand-up guy.
Crawford and Blue Blood initially spoke about May, June.
Well, Blue Blood is speaking on behalf of Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford is now signed to Blue Blood and BLK Prime.
Okay, well, somebody on his team is started with something else. They put it out there that it started 2 months ago.
I'm just going by what came out of Blue Blood's mouth.
You're right, and
Not
he speaks for
somebody
Terrence
else
Crawford.
said.
Yeah, and Warren, he speaks on behalf of Terrence Crawford.
Right, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He also said that Errol Spence is not ducking Terrence Crawford, and Terrence Crawford not ducking Errol Spence. It's just that when Terrence Crawford got word that the fight will not happen until the first quarter of next year, is Terrence Crawford wanted to get some work in. Instead of sitting out for 15 months. Now, it's not Terrence Crawford's fault that Errol Spence didn't have a contingency plan. Matter of fact, I think this kind of fell in Terrence Crawford's lap, and he lucked up, and he got blessed with a fight this year. I really do. I really do that this came at a time, and them guys was looking for a good fighter to promote their app, and he went with it. They was talking good. Apparently things went good. Things was right for Terrence Crawford to agree to it. And that's how that happened.
My question is, what happened to I signed everything. I agreed to everything.
No, agreeing to terms is not signing a contract, sir. I think you're confusing the two.
No. Warren. Team Crawford had communicated that Crawford had signed. And then his sister inadvertently contradicted that when she was asked on Twitter, well, then your brother needs to sign, and et cetera, et cetera. And then she said he didn't sign.
Mm-hmm.
And then Crawford claimed, hold on. Crawford claimed, I agreed to everything. How would you agree to everything? And then you're still arguing terms in public, terms such as transparency, terms such as bilateral rematch clause, terms such as being able to approve PBC's
what's the guy name that be on ESPN? What's his name?
Carpenter.
Okay, Carpenter specifically said that terms was agreed to, so I'm going by that. And I'm not saying that he's right or that he's got, that he holds the holy grail to the truth. I'm not
Because he
saying that
does
at
it.
all. Because he does it. I get that.
Carpenter is team, but go ahead.
But just call a duck a duck, man.
All right. So again, based on what that article said, when I read it, it says that the lawyer still has to iron out the details of the contract, and which means that it was not signed yet. So it's like I said, okay, I agree. I tell you, I give you my word or shake it on. Yeah, I agree to these terms, but let me lawyers look at the contract, and we'll see if. And then if they give me a go, they give me the nod, the heads up, then I'll sign it. As a matter of fact, it's been rumored or it's been reported that Terrence Crawford even had to get rid of he had to get rid of a lawyer to get another lawyer to try to make the deal happen. So it's a lot of other stuff that played out in the deal. My whole point is this. You can't blame Crawford for Errol Spence not being able to fight this year. That's on Earl.
That's on the periphery. That's not the
let me
central
bring
issue.
someone else in. Saul want to respond.
Duck is a duck. A duck is a duck.
Yeah, Saul. Saul?
All right, hold on. I'll stay in the back. Give me 1 minute.
If you have a Spence contract, a revised Spence contract in your hand, and you choose to go in a different direction, a duck is a duck.
A duck is a duck.
Yo, all I gotta say, man, fuck this fight. How we getting some money today, Fred? What's good, man?
Oh God, this motherfucker.
Man, fuck this fight, bro. I need my bank account helped out. I don't give a fuck about these two motherfuckers that don't want to fight each other. Like, fuck that. We on here speculating for fucking 5 days, bro. How am I gonna get some more money? How am I gonna take this and flip it, bro?
No, don't say two, say one motherfucker that don't want to fight.
Shit, DM was ass. Shit.
You said tomorrow, man.
What's up? It's Money Monday, Fred. What's up? What's
you said tomorrow. You said tomorrow.
Oh shit, you right. I'm a day behind.
You're a day ahead. Yeah, you're a day, whatever.
Man, I'm all fucked up, bro. You already know. I've been working like a motherfucker. I forgot what day it was. And I didn't get to see Bobby Brown yesterday, so just threw off everything. But all right, man. Fuck this fight. Hey, I might head out there next month with the boys to that Regis and Zepeda fight, a fight that was actually made. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? When it was signed and delivered. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What's up? We're gonna pull up on you, Fred. What's good? You gonna come out and eat with us or something? Politic real quick?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Don't worry, we ain't gonna go to the hood, man. We ain't getting P&B rocked out that motherfucker.
That's a fact.
But it's interesting to hear, everybody's take on this shit. I hear some people's take, and I'm like, ooh, I would love to do business with y'all.
I believe that I'm back on the point that Fred been making, is that we not holding PBC or Al Haymon foot to the fire for some of the things that have been going on with the fighters, period. And we just glossing past of that and just putting it on whether Terrence is a duck or Earl's a duck, and we just sticking with that narrative, but yet not even really putting Terrence Al Haymon to calling what it is. He's not handling the business of dealing with this fight right, period.
But can you get more specific as far as what he did to fumble things? I'm no Al Haymon fan, but when you say he hasn't handled business or he hasn't done it, what specifically do you take issue with? Respectfully.
Okay, so let's just talk about in January, his henchman Tom Brown came out and said that we don't want to be disrespectful to Terrence Crawford because we believe he's a great fighter, and I'm paraphrasing, so don't take me word for word, that the fact that they didn't have the money to pay what Terrence Crawford was worth. That's first. Secondly, Tim Brown comes back in May.
They got over that hurdle.
It may not be Tim Brown. I might be getting my name wrong.
It was Tim Smith. And even after that, both sides
correct me,
ended
brother.
up.
Yeah, let him respond. Go ahead.
So help me. I mean, if I get the names wrong, brother, please forgive me. All right, because I
That's
don't have
secondary.
no.
That's secondary. Go ahead.
All right. So then we got Tim Brown coming in. It's an article saying that in May they are looking to make a deal with Canelo Alvarez for Earl and put Earl Spence up there on the chopping block, Charlo on the chopping block, Benavidez on the chopping block. But we know that Canelo already said that he doesn't fight Mexican fighters. Now, whether that's half Mexican or not, I don't know what his terminology or what he would determine to be a Mexican fighter is.
Mexicans and no Benavidez, but go ahead. Sorry.
Right. So we know that. So that didn't come through. So that right there leads me to believe. Just those two things lead me to believe that they wasn't looking to even have the fight, and they were just doing this just to try to save face. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, this is my true belief, is that if they wanted to go, if they wanted to present a package,
but what did I say earlier? Showtime and PBC were engaged with Crawford at the insistence of Errol Spence.
Exactly.
Both sides had acknowledged that.
PBC has never wanted any of their fighters to fight Crawford since he came in the division. They didn't want Thurman to fight him, Porter to fight him, Garcia to fight him. It's not just a Spence thing. It's a PBC versus Bud thing. They never wanted no fights.
No,
they actually top rank paid Amir Khan twice as much as they offered Danny Garcia, and then the Porters visited Top Rank's offices on more than one occasion, on 2 occasions, and then got turned down by Bob Arum. So PBC fighters have made multiple efforts to fight Terrence Crawford.
Okay, now how's that any different than PBC giving Ugas a 50-50 split, but they're not giving Crawford
They
a 50-50
did not
split?
give Ugas a 50-50
Or
split.
they gave Ugas a bigger percentage than they're offering Bud.
You know,
they gave him a bigger percentage than they're offering Bud.
Now you're kicking the
But I'm saying it's
forward.
no different. It's an in-house fighter, so of course they're gonna look out for him. That's no different. What I'm saying is, yes, Bob Arum has lowball PBC fighters. You are absolutely correct. Now, what offers has Al ever made the other way? Crickets.
Again.
Crickets.
Because
crickets. Exactly.
I don't give a that ain't what we talking about. He engaged.
Yes, we're talking about Al, bro. Al has never even made an offer. Much less a local offer is still more than a zero offer.
What we're talking about is the fact that Bud and the PBC side engaged one another and what transpired after that. I'm not about to sit up here and argue about what the fuck happened during Danny Garcia and fucking Cale Brook negotiations.
It's a pattern, bro.
No, you just saying what you're saying is that PBC doesn't make any offers to somebody on the other side. That's not true.
What was offered?
Then you have to say that it was no fight between Deontay and Fury.
That was a split promotion.
I'm talking about PBC to Bud. I'm talking about PBC to Bud.
I just got finished going over the PBC fighters who tried to fight Bud, but then got lowballed.
Yeah,
moved past that shit.
No, we're not moving past it because you mentioned PBC fighters trying to fight Bud.
Like I said,
you mentioned them trying to fight Bud, but you said that Bob lowballed them. So if they were trying to fight Bud, there's another promotion involved. So if Bob lowballed them, then why didn't they make an offer to Bud the other way? Even if it was a lowball offer, they made zero. Zero is still a lowball is still more than zero.
Max, that's just him saying that Bud's gonna get a bigger cut. He already has to pay Bud a certain amount. If you're gonna come over here and fight with Bud, this is all I feel that is worth. Okay, once the fight between him and Porter came down through by that belt, whoever belt they were fighting about. I mean, who was it? WBO. Once they sanctioned it and made it a mandatory fight, then it was either
Jerry.
The champion was going to make the champion's promoter was going to pay for it, or they were going to go to a bidding war. That's how it works.
Right, and Bob took on that fight and decided to take it on after he then said that he's not Terrence Crawford wasn't worth it, but that's neither here or there. All I'm saying is Al Haymon has to be held accountable for the way that things have been happening. You can't just leave him out of the picture. It's like Fred said. We are scared to even deal with the fact that Al Haymon needs to be held accountable. I
Accountable
don't
for
get
what?
it. Oh
For
my
what?
God!
It's not accountable nothing. Let's
Yo,
bring
somebody
Ken Rock.
typing or some shit?
I
I
mean,
think
even
that's you.
Fred's whole argument has been annihilated.
Yeah, that's you.
It's been annihilated for him to put Canelo involved in any of this. That's promoter talk. You can't put that because Spence is the fighter. He decides who he wants to fight. He said.
I agree. Yeah. Okay. Ramen, go ahead, Ramen. What's up, man? I apologize for having you wait. I'm sorry, bro.
Hey, you good, bro? It's Rockman, as my dad would say. God bless his day. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm gonna come with the kumbaya. You know what I mean? We could argue till our face turn blue about stuff we don't really know the specifics about. Like only Bob Arum, Bud Crawford, those PBC fighters, Spence, and Showtime, Fox. We only they know the specifics, and Fred, because Fred got the people calling them, and texting them all throughout the day. And Fred, don't worry about Jerry, because I tapped into 5 shows today, and Jerry was on all of them. That's
oh yeah, Jerry's cool, man.
Jerry ain't got shit to do all day. Now I'm just playing.
Jerry's a boss.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. But we complain about the suits. We complain about Al Haymon not making a fight. Stephen Espinoza lying, little Steven, all this other stuff. What we have here is a great opportunity to stick it to them. You know what I mean? And I like to quote or coin, or not the coin, but use a phrase that Claude Addison used. It's called inappropriate behavior by black people. You know what I mean? We sit here arguing about stuff. You know what I mean?
You breaking up.
Yeah, we ain't.
You breaking up really bad, sir. Going in and out.
Yeah, I agree with that though. Because there's only one thing that's.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, because I'm driving right now. It's on the bad area. Inappropriate behavior, arguing about this stuff when we have something here. BLK Prime, allegedly it's a black-owned business, and we have a fighter that's out of the loop. Plus, we have a brother. I don't subscribe to LBDC. I don't subscribe to new media. I'll subscribe to none of that. Like I'm new to this right now. You know what I'm saying? I've been watching y'all for a while as y'all develop, and what saddens me is right now I see how it just split apart because Blue's involved with this thing, and I'm looking at all the videos. It's like on ground zero. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I would have thought, as powerful as LBDC is, as many of y'all is, as many supporters y'all have. I think y'all have over 1 million supporters. If I look at all the subscribers, I'm pretty sure that got subscribed back and forth. But some of y'all, got 250,000 subscribers and stuff like that. I even look y'all up on YouTube net worth and see what y'all worth and stuff. Well, see how much money y'all bringing in. Just to see, the logistics of it. You know what I'm saying? Like how serious this thing is. But this is the time. I'm gonna just say it. I'm gonna cut it short. This is a time for LDBC and new media to say, yo, let's make this fight. Let's make this fight successful. Because if we make this fight successful, then we definitely, you know what I'm saying, or we have a good chance of getting Crawford and Spence in 2023. Because then, only then, if this fight is successful, will Bob Arum and Stephen Espinoza, Paramount, will be like, oh, hold up, you know what I'm saying? This dude just did 150,000 to 350,000. We didn't expect him to do 50,000. Maybe there's something here. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure if the LDBC coalesce around this and united around this, that fighter probably do 500,000, man. You know what I mean? Like they say, Spence, the gentleman mentioned earlier, Spence and Crawford has the same fan base. Loyalty, diehard fan base. And it's mostly black and whatnot. But we are split in half. Like white people are split in half. Been split in half since the 50s, and even earlier than that, as far as political parties, which is why they brought in voter rights for black people. You know what I'm saying? To break the tie. You know, Republican, Democrat, white people, it's 50-50 since the slaves been freed. And they saw fit to give us and give women the right to vote to break that tie. You know what I mean? And the only time they coming out, we all know the story. The only time they come in our neighborhoods when it's time to vote and whatnot. It's almost the same thing here. You see, we split 50-50, and we split 50-50 because of, you know, allegiances from YouTube boxing, from Showtime and what they report on, from ESPN what they report on. And I think this is a time that we should get behind the brother Blue. We should get behind the brother Bud, because that's what it's all about. You know what I'm saying? You know, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know how a lot of people feel about his Bud's alleged negotiation missteps and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? We still love our brother, and we definitely love our brother Blue. So I mean, we should be jumping on this. Me myself, I already and let me tell you something. Let me tell you a secret. I don't even like Blue like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? But as soon as and I think I've been muted on his channel because I went against him a couple of times, and I think the mods did something, whatever. But as soon as it was announced, I went to BLK Prime because he's been talking about that since late winter, early spring this year. As soon as it was announced, I went straight to BLK Prime. I subscribed for a year and I bought the fight. You know what I mean? Because that's what it's. I ain't got a bone to pick with nobody when it comes to, you say, our people showing our power. Right. You know what I'm saying? Showing what type of money we got. You know what I mean? And spending our money within our community. And that's what I think it's about. And that's me right there. You see, I'm gonna get back to driving this truck.
Drive safe, man. We appreciate you, big homie.
Yes, sir.
We appreciate you, big homie.
Yes, sir.
Point, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you know what I mean? Peace
I
and
would
love
like
to
to
everybody.
piggyback off what you said.
Yeah, you go next.
BLK.
You go next. He about to get out of here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be listening. I'm gonna be listening.
All right.
I just want to piggyback off of the brother's comment as well. BLK Prime, and I'm saying BLK because I mean normally BLK stand for Black, but I'm not sure if that's what that's what they're calling. So I'm just gonna say BLK Black. I mean Prime. It's an international app that is used in other countries, other outside the United States. So it's not like, I believe that they will also have a larger audience. I know there are, I talk with people from Africa that like boxing and really gets into boxing. I believe David, is he European or Russian? The fighter that he's fighting, is he European? I believe he's a European champion.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, so you might get some fan base from the UK as well that might pick up that app as well. So there's there's a possibility that BLK could turn this back on his face and cause other people now to start looking at the way they doing business or their business model, which is a very good thing for us in the long run, because then we're able to put pressure on them to give us the fights that we want to have when we want to have them, not how they said we should have them, and at a different price where people that have 9 kids and got big families and celebrating holidays and birthdays, they can afford to pay $39.95 than $80 a wop. So this might be a good thing in disguise. We just don't see it yet.
Right. You want to give it? Was that your closing remark?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
For
Man,
sure.
we totally appreciate you coming. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight, man.
Thank you.
All the time. Go ahead, Jerry, before I forget about you, man. Go ahead, man. My bad.
Well, to be honest with you, Fred, I got a little bit of a beef with you tonight, Fred.
Sure. Feel free.
But since this is the closing remarks, if you're not in the mood, I won't ask you. We can do it some other time.
Before you forget, I mean, I'll answer with a yes or no question. I'll answer. Go ahead.
I'm just curious why you muted me earlier when
because it wasn't your turn.
Oh well, I seem to be. I mean, maybe okay.
Yeah, but go ahead.
Well, I just want to revisit that for 1 second, and I'll make it quick. I think your point you were making, which I'm in agreement with, is that the PBC was negotiating with two different fighters at the same time, or they were negotiating with Canelo and Bud.
Mm-hmm.
And that was then because the other guy was saying Bud was negotiating in bad faith by having this Venetian deal going on while he was negotiating. I'm in total agreement with that. And I am familiar with the deal that the PBC was trying to offer Canelo for was a 2-fight deal for $100 million, and reported on Boxing Scene by way of Dan Raphael. Breaking news: Al Haymon and PBC counters Dadson's offer to Canelo Alvarez. Now offers Canelo a 2-fight, $100 million deal that will have him fight Jamar Charlo in May and David Benavidez in September. So my only point was, I did hear Spence's name in that deal also, and they were negotiating the Crawford fight still when they did that. So we're in agreement there. But Benavidez's name was definitely in the conversation. And then to add to that, you know, they asked Benavidez about what Canelo said about not fighting Mexicans. And David Benavidez didn't sell out his heritage, but he said, the thing is that shit ain't going to work with me. I was born in Arizona. I'm really an American, natural-born citizen, and only one of my parents is Mexican. The other one of his parents, his mother, is from, I don't know, Nicaraguan or El Salvador, some other Spanish country. But enough with that, and man, I'm just about done, trying to place blame on someone for this fight not getting made. I'm glad to see Bud Crawford get another opportunity to move on with his career, and if the payday is what they said, and if fight comes off and he actually gets it, man, good for him. But I wonder if moving forward, if a way to finance fights, a little thinking outside of the box could be something like, perhaps they could get people to pre-order fights. You see what I'm saying? Kind of like a fundraiser type of thing, but more of okay, if we can get this many people to pre-order the fight, then we can, you see what I mean? Go ahead and make the fight. Because when you see small promotions like this MBK or Triller or anyone, when they try to get in the fight business, a lot of times in cards, man, they don't come off. They get canceled last minute because the funding isn't really there. Last time, a couple months ago, they tried to put a fight together. The promoter backed out entirely, wouldn't even secure the fighters' purses. I can't remember who it was. It was a couple guys, perennial contenders.
Mickey Bay, Tevin Farmer.
And Mickey Bay, yeah. Now, I don't wish them bad luck, especially when people invest their money into it. It's just the thing is, it's just like when Triller tried to put on that Lopez fight and they couldn't pull it off. That's what happens a lot of times. Hopefully, with some thinking outside of the box, like maybe, doing a pre-sale type of thing, we can kind of change, they can kind of change the structure, the power structure of boxing, because while it's left up to these promoters, we ain't probably never going to get what we want. But good show, and I'm disappointed as anybody about the fight not coming off, but I'm happy for Terrence.
Right. Appreciate you, dog. Appreciate you coming through. Yep, all the time. Let me bring. Go ahead, Anthony. I'll bring you in a second, Sal. Go ahead, Anthony. Give your closing remarks.
Yeah, man. I'm happy for Bud. I'm always for a good fight. Bud's gonna get out there, probably get a nice knockout. But as far as trying to blame anyone, the only person I see here that you could blame, if you're gonna blame somebody, is Bud, because he walked away from the table. Trying to put the promotional talk in there to make it that PBC or Earl did something wrong. This is a negotiation right here between Earl and Bud that started. All the promoter talk to try to get Canelo over there, you can't make that argument to say that PBC was doing something as far as shady. If Bud in all actuality was negotiating another fight, that's his right, man. Who he signed with? Him. He can negotiate 2-3 fights and take whichever one is best for
Right.
him.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, and when you talk about these fights not being made, you got to look at it, man. These guys want a lot of money. If the fights aren't able to make the money back, hell, you a businessman, you ain't doing the fight either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, unless you can get the advertisers, somebody that's gonna cover this tab, it ain't happening, bro. So I ain't blaming Al, PBC. I ain't blaming. In that case, I'm only blaming the fighters if they want to accept the money that's being offered to them to make that fight. And hell, if they're saying they worth more and they don't want to make the fight, I guess eventually they'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
They'll find out because they won't get any fights. You know what I'm saying? And then they'll have to start backing up and taking that money.
Right.
If they want to keep the things that they have acquired and keep that lifestyle. So that's all I got to say about it, bro. Good show.
Thank you, dog. Appreciate you coming through, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saul, what's up? I'm going to give you closing remarks, Saul.
Hey, what's up, Ray?
Hey.
Hey, real quick off of him, man, I don't know how he stays on here talking the same thing all the time, and it doesn't make any sense. Not to me, at least. But I mean, everyone can think what they want, but I mean, you just have to blame the promoters. Like if Bob had Errol and Spence, and if it was the other way around, and he had Crawford, and then Spence wanted to come over, like we blame Bob, like easy. Like you wouldn't hesitate. You say, "Oh, Bob," and you know. So I don't know how they keep saying that. It's the fighter's fault or whoever. The people that came in tonight kind of overheard them a little bit. I was in and out, but yeah, it sucks that it didn't go through. But this fight for Terrence is pretty cool though. I like that. He's doing his own thing with Blue Blood. Like I think it's something good for him, and hopefully it works out and people get the pay-per-view and support him no matter what.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, but as far as Tank, I didn't really get to see what you said on that. What was the tweet that he put, or what was it, real quick? Because I didn't see what happened. Yeah, they playing game. Oh man, it's getting real public now, huh?
Oh yeah, I told y'all, man.
Oh yeah. Oh God. He still has it up?
Nah, he took it down.
Oh, he took it down already? Oh,
yeah, this will
dang.
be the topic of
Tomorrow.
tomorrow, boy.
Dang. Wow, this is good. Everybody should do this. All of them should do this so they can all get out of there because it's a mess.
It is.
Man, it's a mess. Like I don't understand like how you can only fight once a year and like not complain about it. Like I don't know, like like it's like having a job. Like if you expect to be full time working 5 days a week, and your boss says, oh, you're only working 2 days, like you're not gonna complain, you're not gonna ask why, like like you're just gonna, okay, yeah, I'll just work twice a week and I'll just shut up and just deal with it. Like no, you're gonna find out why. Like am I not doing something, or like
Right.
what's going on? Like fix the problem or get out of there, obviously.
Right.
But dang, it's horrible. Like how is like Teofimo gonna fight again next month? Well, in a month and a half or whatever.
Yeah.
And Berlanga's supposed to fight again, and like I don't know. It's just so bad over there. And then you're saying that they want to fight 3 times a year. Like that just like I just laugh when I hear that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like nobody fights twice. Unless you're getting paid minimum wage, pretty much,
Right.
and you want to fight 3 times, like that's like absurd to hear that, But wow, like they might as well just go to like try to go to the zone or something, or
Right.
a lot, something else, because this is not gonna work. Like Tank, like if I don't know if there was a way, I would say he should just go to like ESPN. That's where all the lightweights are, but I don't know how complicated that is. Like I don't really know that much, but it's just crazy. Like Eddie Hearn's putting up dates all the time. Like he's got Estrada and Chocolatito coming up. He's got fights coming. He's got Katie Taylor. Like I don't know. He's got a whole bunch of fights. Like he would have dates for them, and then he would have a good undercard. They'd probably put them on the undercard, or like Katie Taylor on the card. I don't know. Something would be worth there, but it's just crazy. I don't know. It's something's definitely got to change. Hopefully they do get bought out or something, and then someone else can put up these fights for these big names. But yeah, but besides that, the regimen of fitness, man. Oh man, it's all good over here with me, man.
I know. Congratulations.
I'm at 173, man. I told you I started at 222. And I took pictures every Monday.
Wow.
Every single Monday I took a picture of myself, like facing the mirror and then sideways.
Right.
Damn, I'm a different person. It's crazy.
Respect to you, man. Respect
It's crazy. Yeah, it's good. It feels good too. It's like I'm just a different person. Like, and I started doing this before you started really like putting it out there. I started in February, and like I really like I feel like I'm like 168, and I think I'm there already. I'm like I'll probably just maintain, but it's been cool, and then listening to you talk about like investing. I know Max, he's interested in that, and I've been doing that. It's kind of complicated, bro, but it's like once you get the hang of it, it's easy.
Right.
You just have to understand everything. You watch it. Like I watch videos. Like I'll watch boxing videos, but like my main focus is trying to better myself and trying to prepare for the future. And those are the videos I watch. Like I watch like tips on investing and what EFTs are good, what pays good dividends, and you want to check all that. But it's been pretty cool. Like hearing you all the time, it's just even motivated me even more.
That's
like
love. That's love.
Like I always comment on your videos when I see them. Like you put out good stuff. You're like the unsung hero, that people that need to hear, man. People need to hear you, bro. Like I'm not even playing. I'm
Don't tell him that
serious.
shit.
No, he is though. He is, because you know what? Like someone that's down and that's like not motivated. Like I don't know. Some people can't take criticism and they get like offended and stuff. But like I don't care, man. You tell me how it is, and I'll take it. I'll be like, oh yeah. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're right. Like just like you said, like, oh, you got what you're somebody told you got fat. You're like, oh, you're right. And then you went and lost those set. Like I'm the same way.
Immediately.
I'm the same way.
Immediately.
You tell me like, man, like you still haven't got a house or something. Like if they tell me that, like I got my house and everything, but like like if someone would have told me that, I would have been like, you know what? Yeah, man, I'm gonna save for that. I'm gonna get that down payment down. Like I got my house back in, like real quick. I got my house back in COVID. Those stimulus check like that, I didn't waste it on like garbage. I use that for my down payment for my house. And
Beautiful.
it just, I don't know, like it's a good thing that what you say. Hopefully people get motivated by all the stuff you say, and they actually try to do these things, just like you, Max. Like you're trying to invest now, like that, like people like that, that's good that you hit those people. That's the ones that count. Not these haters, that like always trying to hate on you. Like I don't know how they could really hate on you when you're just trying to inspire them to better themselves. But I mean, it's like you're gonna have to sing that. You probably, I don't know if you know Chameleonaire. Good morning.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna be playing that song to them pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Just keep it up,
Thank you,
man.
man.
Just
Congratulations
everything
on your
you
weight
do,
loss.
man. Just yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm almost there. But yeah, everything you do, man, just keep it up. It's
Thank you, dog.
it's
Thank you, dog.
inspirational all the time. Just hearing you. I want to get to where you're at. Hopefully, maybe not now, maybe not in a year, but I'll get there. I'll get there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. The Karate Kid becomes a teacher, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I'll get there.
Yeah.
But yeah, You're wrapping it up, right? You're gonna close it.
Yeah, I'm closing the show.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. At least I made it this time. All right, man. I'll hit
I
you up later.
appreciate it. I'm glad you came through.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Right.
gonna end on Max.
All
Thank you,
right.
dog.
Cool.
Thank you,
All
dog.
right. See you,
Thank you,
man.
dog, for coming
Take
through.
care,
Yeah.
guys. Take care.
Appreciate you, Max. For the first time in show history, we close with 2 Latino surnames. What's up, Max? I don't know if he's Mexican. I don't know if he's Mexican, so I say, yeah. I'm just pissing people off. But go ahead.
Hey man, fuck them, fuck them all. No man, yeah man, I'm motivated. I'm ready for tomorrow, man. I'm kind of burnt down on this fucking subject matter because nobody knows nothing about shit. You feel me? So you know, at the end of the day, this fight, I knew this fight wasn't gonna get made this year. I told everybody it wasn't gonna happen. I told everybody the day after, the night that Spence fought Ugas and called out Bud, I said he ain't gonna fight him though. It ain't gonna happen this year. And here we are, man. But man, I can't wait to look forward to. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, man. I'm trying to really trying to level this shit up, man. I feel like you're turning into the OG we should have been had. You feel me? You got the game, dropping it down, and that's how it's supposed to go, man. I see you winning over there. I'm trying to win too. So, thanks for everything, bro. Thanks for the open platform, like always, man. Let everybody get their spit off. You know what I'm saying? But I'm on this money motivation tour right now, man. You know what I'm saying? So you're headlining this motherfucker. I'll be the opener.
I'm headlining. I'm headlining. All right.
But hey, I'm gonna holler at you tomorrow, Fred. I'll be in there. And I'm off, so I'll be there bright and early.
Yeah, just come in.
Yep. All right, much love, bro.
Yeah, everybody's welcome. Just come on in. And yeah, I appreciate you. Yeah, Jerry, you cut him off, Jerry. Go back. And then you started kept talking. Like, come on, Jerry, let him get off, man. And obviously I disagreed with you, so it felt like I was cutting you off because of that. No, but yeah, man, and if you guys need more of what I'm telling y'all, see, I'm actually saving the sport. Y'all think that I'm not because y'all are in love with your favorite fighter, and you don't think and or see past your favorite fighter. But I'm willing to bet. Tank Davis said I need to take my talents elsewhere. Obviously, he's training in Miami, so he wanted to. He's quoting. He's channeling his greater LeBron James. Take my talent somewhere else. Yeah, he's down there in Camp Cunningham. But the moreover I want to say is, Tank is fighting. Tank is fighting right now. I can see it in his tweets. He's not mentioning names. He's fighting. He want to say something. He don't want to say something, but he ain't getting the fights he want. And they making him out to be like this Harlem Globetrotters type of fighter, and he's not. I've seen Tank with my own eye. I tell you, Tank is talented. All those guys are talented. Devin Haney is one of the best fighters in the world. Tank is one of the best fighters in the world. Shakur is one of the best fighters in the world. Keyshawn Davis looks like he could potentially be one of the best fighters in the world. Ryan Garcia has a left hook, and he's more rangier than the three. So, we'll see. He has the quickest hands out of all four of them. So, and I think those guys can make great money. And I think they need to put it together somehow, some way. And anyways, who need to talk about that? But the fact is, the truth is the truth. And I totally appreciate y'all coming through tonight. This was an awesome show. Stand by what I said, man. I can't believe we've been brothers for this long, and you guys are putting a fight before the success of one of your brothers. I think that's despicable. I think that's classless. I think it shows a lack of manhood, and maybe you did or did not have a father in your life. But when a man has been standing beside you since this pseudo YouTube network since day one, and you want to fight over his success, that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, Birdman, can we talk race tomorrow? Yeah, for sure. And so I stand on that, man. The nerve of men to Blue Blood out here succeeding. And I'm not getting a dime from Blue Blood. I actually don't get a dime from nobody. I don't really, I choose not to have gifts, I don't accept free tickets. I don't accept free pay-per-views or nothing like that. I pay for everything. You know, I know the tax laws, so I'll get my money back somehow, some way, legally. You know, so I'd rather you spend your money on yourself. And but yeah, man, I totally appreciate y'all coming through tonight, man. But if it was anyone, if it was Mex, they called Mex and be like, man, I like how you on the barbershop, man. I'm rooting for Mex. Mex is with me here every day. Why wouldn't I? I want Tiafimo fight versus Mex success. It don't add up to me, man. It definitely don't add up. So so it is what it is. But I'll say it again, PBC fighters, if Al Haymon owes you money, you better stop praying to God and call Al Haymon. That's all I'm saying. And get your money, man. Get your money, man. That's all I'm gonna say. If not, then hey, don't say I never. I can't call all y'all. I don't have all y'all numbers, you know. But anyways, man, I totally appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for coming. The Yankees got swept. It's terrible, man. I cleared off my day tomorrow. I cleared off my day to watch the Yankees at 1:30. They ain't going. It's over, you know. So I guess I'll be watching Monday Night Football with y'all and listening to me rant. You know. So yeah, man. And if this bodes well and we got access to Blue Blood every day for 2 hours, I think we win. You know, and if this bodes well, shit, maybe you get Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford on Black Prime. That'll be great. But if you gave me a percentage, I would say 80-20. Oh my God, that was terrible. 80-20, 90-10. That Terrence Crawford going to Black Prime affected the date, the 2023 date for this fight. I told y'all I was going in 2023 the first time I reported, but y'all didn't believe me. You know, y'all wait for Dan Raphael and Mike Coppinger, you know what I mean? Or Leonard Ellaby and Dan Raphael love-hate relationship. That's just despicable, man. Leonard Ellaby give that man that much respect, and he literally used his platform to take millions from them. I don't respect that. Anyways, man, appreciate y'all. Holla.